Chapter 821, Meeting Princess Han Mo, 1. Sure, no problem. Looking at the soldier, Xiao Changtian nodded. After all, he was going to discuss the matter of the spirit tree seed with Princess Han Mo at a close distance. He would do whatever he wanted. Not long after, two maids took Xiao Changtian away from the soldiers. This unlucky fellow, I wonder how the princess will treat him. I think this guy is still immortal. Even if the princess attacks him, it won't be too heavy. Stop discussing. When the time comes, we'll all be waiting to carry this guy away. Looking at Xiao Changshan's back, a few guards laughed and discussed loudly. It wasn't because of anything else, but because Princess Han Mo was the living image of the King of Hell in their hearts. As long as they came out of her room, no matter if they were ministers or officials, not many of them would be able to come out alive. Young master, please come this way. At this moment, Xiao Changtian had been brought into a luxurious bathroom by several maids. The bathroom was filled with smoke, making it look like a paradise on earth. Young master, please take off your clothes. This servant will bathe you. A few maids stood behind Xiao Changtian, waiting for his next move. So the treatment of being a prince consort was so good? Xiao Changshan's face was filled with surprise when he saw so many maids behind him. She didn't expect him to enjoy such a luxurious service. Alright then, you guys do it. Xiao Changtian was enjoying the bath and dressing of these maids. Not long after, Xiao Changtian finished bathing. At this moment, all the maids were stunned as they looked at Xiao Changtian, who had changed into gorgeous clothes. They had never seen such a handsome man. In the entire Han Mo kingdom, there had never been a man as handsome as Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian was dressed in a brocade robe. He looked like an extremely luxurious young master of the royal family. People who looked at him from afar couldn't take their eyes off him. Sigh. Don't be dumbfounded. Where am I going now? Xiao Changtian naturally noticed the stunned gazes of the maids, so he coughed lightly and reminded them. It seemed that his charm was still on the line. So many people had fallen for his good looks. Xiao Changtian naturally knew that these maids were stunned because he was too handsome. However, this was understandable. After all, he was the realm herb of the entire Jade Lake's sacred world. Even though he was the one who sealed the realm grass. Oh, young master, please follow me. The leading mate finally came back to her senses after hearing Xiao Changshan's words. She smiled apologetically at Xiao Changtian and led Xiao Changtian to Princess Han Mo's bedroom. How could such a handsome person be ruined by that female Rakshasa? Looking at Xiao Changshan's back, a maid said angrily. You better keep your voice down. If someone with ulterior motives heard it, they would lose their heads. After hearing the maid's words, the maid at the side hurriedly covered her mouth. One had to know that Princess Han Mo was not only decisive in killing the officials of the previous dynasty, she was also very harsh on the palace maids who served her. If any palace maid dared to gossip, her fate would not be worse than those officials of the previous dynasty. State Preceptor, are you sure that man can save the Han Mo kingdom? At this moment, Princess Han Mo stood in the study and asked the old man beside her. Princess, everything I said is true. Humans may lie, but the astrolabe in the sky will not lie. When the imperial advisor saw Princess Han Mo asking him this question, he immediately explained. Princess Han Mo was skeptical about the imperial advisor's words. She did not believe that a mortal could save the Han Mo kingdom. However, according to the experience of the Han Mo kingdom, the imperial advisor's astrolabe had never failed. The Han Mo kingdom's calamity this time wasn't a major calamity. It was because of the invasion of the demon race. However, in the past 2 months, officials had been missing continuously. Even the Han Mo princess couldn't defend against the detestable demon race. Even the Han Mo king had been invaded by the devil race's devil chi. To cure him, one could only suck out the devil chi from his body. However, this devil chi could only be controlled by the devil race's people. The reason why Princess Han Mo was so decisive was because she knew that this demon wasn't hiding somewhere else. Instead, he was living on an official's body. Due to the cunning methods of the demon race, Princess Han Mo still couldn't find that person for 2 months. Even though Princess Han Mo had interfered with the court's affairs a lot before this, she had never killed so many people like she had in the past 2 months. Princess, we've brought that person. At this moment, a soldier came over and reported. Let him come directly to the study. Princess Hanemo was actually quite curious about Xiao Changtian. Although the imperial advisor said that this person was a mortal, Princess Han Mo still didn't believe it. The princess wants you to enter the study. The soldier walked up to Xiao Changtian and said. Xiao Changtian didn't hesitate and walked in. Greetings, Your Highness. Xiao Changtian said respectfully to the princess. After all, she was the princess of the Han Mo kingdom, and she had the strength of the sage sect. She was an existence that he could not afford to offend. What's your name? Princess Han Mo originally had a sliver of hope for the person who came, but she didn't expect that the person who came was really immortal. There was not a single trace of spiritual power fluctuation on his body. Princess, my name is Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian slowly said to Princess Hanemo. At the same time, he was thinking about how to ask Princess Han Mo about the spirit tree seed. Xiao Changtian, to tell you the truth, the announcement that was posted this time is just a cover. The real purpose is because the Han Mo royal family has met with an accident. According to the imperial tutor's astrolabe, you are the one who can save the Han Mo kingdom. Princess Han Mo didn't hide anything from Xiao Changtian because she wanted to see how much this mortal could endure. Although Xiao Changtian had a good face, he didn't have any strength. In the end, he would only have a bad ending. Oh, there's actually such a thing? Xiao Changtian was slightly surprised. After all, he did not know that he had such great ability to help such a big country get out of the crisis. Why is this mortal so calm? Seeing Xiao Changshan's reaction, Princess Han Mo muttered in surprise. If it was any ordinary person, they would have immediately knelt down to him upon hearing this news. However, Xiao Changtian seemed to be in deep thought and didn't care at all. Princess Han didn't expect this. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 822, The State Preceptor is a Demon, 1. Do you know the importance of this matter? Princess Hanemo looked at Xiao Changtian and asked coldly. How could I not know? But before that, I want to ask you something. However, please don't pretend that you don't know. Xiao Changtian wasn't frightened by Princess Han Mo's tone. Instead, he asked with a smile. Damn it. Did Xiao Changtian want to die? How dare you speak to the princess like this? Xiao Changshan's words were naturally heard by the guards outside the door. Hearing the commotion inside, the guard said in shock. Don't think so much. It won't be long before the new Fuma falls. Another guard also sighed. Because the last person who dared to speak to Princess Hanemo like this had an unusually tragic ending. How dare you? Do you know where this is? Do you really think that you can do whatever you want just because you have the ability to save the Hanemo kingdom? At this moment, the state preceptor frowned at Xiao Changtian. He didn't expect that the person in the astrolabe would be this kind of person. It seemed a little unreliable. This is really interesting. This princess has never seen such an interesting person in all these years. Princess Hanemo looked at Xiao Changtian and chuckled. The reason why Xiao Changtian dared to speak to this Hanemo princess like this was because he had just called the system to check the talents of the few people present, and their talents could be said to be tragic. Although they were cultivators, Xiao Changtian was sure that even if Princess Hanmo attacked him, he was confident that he could escape. Princess Hanmo, I'll take it that you've agreed. Xiao Changtian didn't wait for Princess Hanmo's next sentence before he asked, I wonder if you have the seed of the spirit tree. When Princess Hanmo heard this, her expression froze and she stared at Xiao Changtian. How did this mortal know that the spirit tree seed was in her hands? She had never told anyone about this news. It was not because of anything else, but because she had heard that if she planted this spirit tree seed, it was very likely that it would change the landscape of their Han Mo kingdom. The Han Mo kingdom had been a desert for so many years, so Princess Han Mo wanted to try to change it. However, because of the recent matter with the demon race, Princess Han Mo was in a terrible state, so the matter of the spirit tree seed was gradually put on hold. What Princess Han Mo didn't expect was that this mortal actually knew about this news. How was this possible? Who exactly are you? Princess Han Mo looked at Xiao Changtian with a guarded face, wanting an explanation from him. Princess Han Mo, please don't misunderstand. I'm not a person. I only heard this news from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Xiao Changtian didn't hide the source of this information. Princess Han Mo looked at Xiao Changtian even more fiercely. This person was able to buy information from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, which showed that this person was not simple. Princess Han Mo knew that the price of a piece of information in the secret pavilion was either a treasured weapon or a very, very large amount of gold comms. Otherwise, one could forget about getting any information. Now that Xiao Changtian had obtained the news from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, it meant that this guy in front of him was definitely not an ordinary person. How dare you? He actually dared to buy information about the princess from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. He was really too impudent. The state preceptor shouted at the side. State preceptor, I'm only asking about the spirit tree seed. Why are you so agitated? Could it be that you are a member of the demon race? Xiao Changtian looked at the state preceptor in confusion. Why did the state preceptor look so strange? When the imperial advisor heard this, his expression changed. You're simply full of nonsense. How dare you slander me? Princess, this person is so disrespectful to you, he should be thrown into jail. The imperial advisor looked at Xiao Changtian and said fiercely. It was as if Xiao Changtian was right. State preceptor, he's just a mortal. Why are you so agitated? Could it be that a mortal like him can threaten us? Princess Han Mo said slowly and indifferently. Actually, Princess Han Mo had long suspected that the state preceptor was the incarnation of the demon race, but she had never had any evidence. From the moment he said that the person who could save the Han Mo kingdom was a mortal, she felt that something was wrong. However, because Imperial Preceptor Li Lai was the person with the strongest soul power in the entire Han Mo kingdom, Princess Han Mo did not act rashly and only observed silently. This imperial advisor must not have thought that he would find a random mortal, but this mortal did not seem to be a real mortal. After hearing the princess' words, the imperial advisor stood aside angrily and looked at Xiao Changtian quietly. System, quickly check if that imperial preceptor is a demon. Xiao Changtian asked the system in his mind. Ding. If the host wants to know who has been possessed by demons in the Han Mo kingdom, it will cost 2,500 crystals. The system's emotionless voice rang out in Xiao Changtian's mind. 2,500 crystals. Why don't you go rob them? Xiao Changtian felt bad after hearing the system's words. How could the system be so good at scamming people? The last time, he spent 5,000 crystals on the necklace. Now, he had to spend half of it just to investigate a demon. It was really too much. Ding. The host can also choose not to check, the system said after hearing Xiao Changshan's words. It was as if he was mocking Xiao Changtian for being poor. Damn it. Xiao Changtian said helplessly. However, based on the current situation, if he wanted to obtain the spirit tree seed, he had to help the Han Mo kingdom solve this demon problem. Forget it. System, he'll spend 2,500 crystals to check. Looking at the people in front of him, Xiao Changtian said helplessly. These 2,500 spiritual crystal points were enough for Xiao Changtian to feel heartache for a few days. Ding. The test was successful. The person who was invaded by the demons was the state preceptor. The system's voice sounded in Xiao Changshan's mind again. As expected, there's something wrong with this person. Xiao Changtian nodded. Princess, I can help your Han Mo kingdom find the person who was invaded by the demon race, but in exchange, I want the spirit tree seed. What do you think? Xiao Changtian looked at Princess Han Mo and said slowly. Haha, have you forgotten that you are only a mortal? Do you want me to believe a mortal? Princess Han Mo smiled at Xiao Changtian. Princess, how would you know if you don't try? Can we talk in private? Xiao Changtian smiled and shook his head. Alright then, follow me. Princess Han Mo wanted to see what this mortal could say to her. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 823, Han Mo King 1, Princess. You have to be careful of this person. Looking at the princess' departing figure, Imperial Tutor walked to Princess Han Mo's side and said, "State Preceptor, don't worry. He's just a mortal. What tricks can he play in front of me?" Princess Han Mo glanced at Xiao Changtian and snorted. In the end, under Imperial Tutor's unwilling gaze, Princess Han Mo and Xiao Changtian walked to a distant palace. "Hey, do you think our princess has taken a fancy to this kid and is unwilling to kill him? I think he looks like him too. Otherwise, the princess would have killed him countless times." After Princess Han Mo walked out of the study with Xiao Changtian, the guard at the door of the study said with a gossipy expression, "All right, I've already set up a barrier." Looking at Xiao Changtian in the room, Princess Han Mo felt that this guy was definitely not ordinary. "Princess Han Mo, you seem to have a guess, right? The demon race is the Imperial Preceptor." Xiao Changtian didn't waste any words. He looked at Princess Han Mo and said, "What's wrong? Do you have any evidence?" Princess Han Mo was slightly surprised. Could it be that this mortal had seen through something? However, even she, who was from Glory Sect, couldn't tell. How could a mortal like him sense it? "I have no evidence. However, I am certain that the Imperial Preceptor is from the demon race," Xiao Changtian said confidently. It was impossible for the system to lie to him. "You have no evidence, how can I believe you?" Princess Han Mo raised her eyebrows as she looked at Xiao Changshan's solemn vow. There was indeed something wrong with the State Preceptor, but without concrete evidence, it would only alert the enemy. One had to know that the might of the fiend race could not be underestimated. Princess, it's not good. The king is coughing up blood." At this moment, a notification came from outside. "Quickly call the imperial physician." Princess Han Mo frowned and said, "Princess, even the imperial physician is helpless." The man replied, "Damn it." Princess Han Mo said with a gloomy expression, "Princess, I know some medical skills. I wonder if you can let me take a look." Xiao Changtian couldn't help but say, "Are you going to take a look? Stop joking. What can you tell?" After Princess Han Mo heard Xiao Changtian's words, she smiled disdainfully. Her father had been invaded by the devil race's devil chi. If he wanted to get rid of it, he could only get the devil race to suck out the devil QJ before he could recover. And now, this mortal actually said that he wanted to go and take a look. It was simply a joke. "Princess, quickly think of a way. The king is about to collapse." Seeing Princess Han Mo like this, the maid was also very anxious. "Follow me to take a look first." Finally, Princess Han Mo said to Xiao Changtian. After all, even the most powerful doctor in the Han Mo kingdom had no way to save her. The princess of the Han Mo kingdom had also made preparations for the death of the king. It was no big deal to let Xiao Changtian take a look. Cough, cough, cough. Just as Xiao Changtian walked to the entrance of Han Mo King's palace, he heard an earth-shattering cough. "Cough, cough, cough. You cough, cough, cough. It's over." The Han Mo King, who was lying on the bed, watched Princess Han Mo walk over from the door and slowly said, "Father, it's all my fault for not being able to find that demon." Princess Han Mo looked at the current Han Mo King and said with self-blame, although the Han Mo Kingdom had been very harsh to the Han Mo Princess since she was young, the Han Mo Princess still loved her father very much. How could Princess Han Mo not feel heartache for her father? "Princess, your father's illness is still very easy to treat. Leave it to me. I promise it'll be done in a while." At this moment, Xiao Changtian, who was behind Princess Han Mo, said slowly, Do you know what occasion this is?" Just as Xiao Changtian finished speaking, he heard the doctor beside him berate him loudly. He was the most powerful doctor in the entire Han Mo kingdom, but even he was helpless now. Yet, this person in front of him, who did not have any spiritual fluctuations on his body, actually said that he could be cured in a short while. It was simply ridiculous. "I'll give you 10 minutes. If you can't cure it, don't even think about your head." However, Princess Han Mo had no choice but to speak to Xiao Changtian. Alright then, all of you step back first. Xiao Changtian walked forward and took out a bunch of silver needles. Princess, you can't do that. The country ruler was still breathing. If this person attacked, the country ruler would really have no chance of living. Looking at Xiao Changtian, the doctor quickly walked to the side of Princess Han Mo and said, "In that case, can you save my father?" Princess Han Mo coldly glanced at the doctor. The doctor was instantly rendered speechless. He could only stand aside and watch Xiao Changshan's actions. Xiao Changtian looked at the Han Mo king on the bed with confidence. This king was just too congested, he just needed to bleed more. Xiao Changtian didn't stop at all. The silver needles in his hand quickly landed on the various acupuncture points on Han Mo king's body. After Xiao Changtian inserted the last silver needle, Han Mo king immediately spat out a large mouthful of black blood. Not only his mouth, but even the pores on his body began to emit black blood. Demonic chi. The demonic chi was actually forced out. Seeing this scene, everyone present was stunned. They had not expected that the demonic chi would actually be forced out of the Han Mo king's body by a mortal. And this process only lasted for a few minutes. How is that possible? How did he do it? Looking at the scene before him, the doctor who had been clamoring earlier instantly widened his eyes. He could not believe that this person had actually forced the demonic chi out of the country ruler's body. Who is he? How can he have such great ability? Even Princess Han Mo was so shocked that she didn't know what to say. She was prepared that her father might not be around at any time, but this Xiao Changtian in front of her was able to force out the demonic chi in her father's body. At this moment, the demonic chi that Xiao Changtian had forced out stopped in the air for 2 seconds before disappearing into thin air. This is unbelievable. Everyone present was amazed by Xiao Changshan's power. He really isn't a mortal. He's an expert. At this moment, Princess Han Mo finally came to her senses. How could this Xiao Changtian in front of him be a mortal? He was simply an expert pretending to be a mortal. However, he was blind and could not tell that this Xiao Changtian was actually such a person. No wonder he could confidently conclude that the state preceptor was a demon. At this moment, the imperial advisor, who was standing in the dark, watched this scene with his eyes wide open. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 824. It's no problem. 1. Didn't I tell you to find a mortal without any strength? How did it become like this? Seeing the Han Mo king's face gradually turning better, the imperial tutor angrily asked the soldier who was looking for Xiao Changtian. Country State Preceptor, I really did it according to your instructions. He had found a mortal without any spiritual power. The soldier didn't expect that before he could carry Xiao Changshan's body, the state preceptor would find him first. Mortal? I think you're blind. The imperial advisor looked at the soldier, and his face gradually twisted. Since you're so blind, you don't have to live in this world anymore. After the state preceptor finished speaking, he grabbed the soldier's collar. The soldier's eyes were bloodshot from the state preceptor's grasp. He looked at the state preceptor's face that was gradually distorting. In the end, it suddenly turned into the face of a demon. However, before the soldier could scream, the imperial advisor sucked away the soldier's spiritual energy. In an instant, the soldier turned into a dried corpse and turned into a pile of powder. What trash! You can't even do a small thing well. The imperial advisor looked at the powder on the ground, the anger on his face still not gone. This was great. If the Han Mo king woke up, he would definitely know that something was wrong with him. At that time, he might very well be exposed. At this moment, the devil chi on Han Mo king's body had completely dissipated under Xiao Changshan's silver needles. Ahem, am I still alive? The Han Mo king, who had just woken up, looked at the few people in front of him and slowly asked, Father, you're still alive? At this moment, the most excited person was none other than the Han Mo princess. She really didn't expect that Xiao Changtian would have such ability to save her father. He was simply the savior of the Han Mo kingdom. What medical skills did you use? Why can't I feel any spiritual power fluctuation from your body? But you can cure the country master? The doctor beside him was also very excited when he saw Xiao Changtian. He couldn't believe that everything in front of him was real. The Han Mo king who was about to die was actually cured by a few needles from Xiao Changtian. Dr. Lu, I don't think you have the right to speak here. Seeing the doctor questioning Xiao Changtian with such agitation, Xiao Changtian was shocked. Princess Han Mo said unhappily. No. No, this was simply impossible. However, at this moment, the doctor seemed to have gone mad. He looked at Xiao Changtian with disbelief. Men, Dr. Lu has gone crazy. Quickly take him away. Princess Han Mo did not hesitate at all as she spoke loudly to the guards at the door. No, I can't. Princess, this is impossible. This was simply impossible. After Dr. Lu was taken away, he shouted indignantly. How could a mortal without any spiritual energy fluctuations save the country's ruler? Thank you, expert. I didn't expect that I could still come back to life. After Physician Lu was taken away, Han Mo King looked at Xiao Changtian and said gratefully. The Han Mo King had thought that he would die without a doubt. He had even set up a posthumous edict. He had not expected that he would be saved by this young man in front of him. Country ruler, you're too polite. Your illness is just a piece of cake for me, so there's no need to be too polite. Xiao Changtian smiled at Han Mo King. It was nothing. This Xiao Changtian was really too powerful. The demonic qi that could only be dealt with by the demons was forced out by him. All of this was as easy as lifting a finger for Xiao Changtian. It was simply unbelievable. Xiao, oh no, senior, it was my Princess Han Mo's fault in the beginning. At this moment, the way Princess Han Mo looked at Xiao Changtian was different. When Princess Han Mo thought other attitude towards Xiao Changtian, she couldn't help but want to go back to the beginning and give herself 2 slaps. Xiao Changtian was not a mortal. He was simply a divine doctor. Aya, you guys are too polite. However, Princess Han Mo, the Han Mo King needs to recuperate now. Let's talk in private first. Xiao Changtian saw that Han Mo King's condition had stabilized, so he thought that it was time to ask about the spirit tree seeds. Father, you should rest well. I'll go and thank Senior properly first. Princess Han Mo's attitude towards Xiao Changtian had changed drastically. Therefore, he didn't dare to disobey Xiao Changshan's words. We must thank Senior properly. He's really not an ordinary person. Han Mo King looked at Xiao Changshan's figure and slowly nodded his head. After a while, Xiao Changtian and Princess Han Mo came to the room. Princess Han Mo, I believe that you don't have to doubt that Imperial Preceptor is a demon, right? Xiao Changtian looked at Princess Han Mo and chuckled. Senior, I was incompetent just now and didn't take your words to heart. But now I can be sure that the Imperial Preceptor is a demon. When Princess Han Mo was in King Han Mo's palace, she naturally noticed the Imperial tutor who was secretly observing from the shadows. In addition to Xiao Changshan's unquestionable strength, no one would doubt his words. Aya, you don't need to call me senior. I already said that saving your father is just a small matter. Xiao Changtian was still not used to Princess Han Mo's sudden respect. Senior, what are you talking about? You are the savior of our Han Mo kingdom. Princess Han Mo was still extremely respectful to Xiao Changtian. After all, no one would dare to offend such a powerful expert. By the way, Senior, I still have a presumptuous request. Can Senior help me eliminate the Imperial Preceptor? Then, Princess Han Mo looked at Xiao Changtian and asked. Of course, Senior. I'll immediately help you get the spirit tree seeds you want. At this moment, Princess Han Mo did not hesitate at all. She immediately called her personal maid over to retrieve the spirit tree seed. After all, this spirit tree seed was meant to help the Han Mo kingdom. Now, with the invasion of the devil race, this spirit tree seed was basically useless. After all, compared to long-term plans, the current demons were the most fatal. Xiao Changtian hadn't even said anything, And everything had been arranged by Princess Han Emo. No wonder so many people were afraid of this Han Emo princess. With her swift and unrestrained methods, no man could compare to her. However, this Princess Han Emo wanted him to deal with the demons. How was he going to deal with them? Forget it, I don't care anymore. Let's get the spirit tree seed first. Although Xiao Changtian didn't know how he would deal with the state preceptor, his purpose for coming here was to get the seed of the spirit tree. Princess, I've brought the item. After a while, the maid came in with a box. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 825. Where did this dead dog come from? 1. Senior, please take this spirit tree seed first. Our Han Emo kingdom is counting on you. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Princess Han Emo brought the box in front of him. Xiao Changtian took the box and looked at the glowing green bead in the box. He nodded. He had to get this spirit tree seed first. Oh right, my pet is still in the inn. At this moment, Xiao Changtian suddenly remembered that the little guy was still alone in the inn. He hadn't been fed for the whole day. It was getting dark soon. This little guy might starve to death. Don't worry, he'll send someone to pick it up now. Princess Han Emo immediately said. After all, the senior's pet was definitely not an ordinary pet. Senior, it's already late today. You should rest first. Someone should be bringing your pet back for you soon. He'll come again tomorrow. Princess Han Emo saw that the sky had gradually darkened, so she said respectfully to Xiao Changtian. All right. Xiao Changtian didn't say much. After he finished speaking, he followed the guard to his room. At this moment, the Imperial Advisor was standing in Han Emo Imperial City. Did you get the thing? A demon Saint Lord stood in front of the Imperial Tutor and asked. A damned human obstructed my plan. I was originally prepared to act as soon as that Han Emo King died, but I didn't expect that person to actually revive Han Emo King. The Imperial Advisor looked at the Holy Master and said angrily. 13. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame can't wait any longer. If you don't get that thing soon, Sacred Lord Demonic Flame won't let you off easily. The Holy Lord of the demon race looked at the Imperial Preceptor and said softly, Since I've finished speaking, I'll leave first. After saying that, that person's figure instantly froze on the spot. Damn it, looks like we have to make a move tonight. The Imperial Advisor gritted his teeth and said angrily. Because the Imperial Advisor was the Devil Race's Holy Lord, and because there were too many such Holy Lords in the Devil Race, every Holy Lord had a number. This Imperial Advisor was really Holy Lord 13, so Holy Lord 13 didn't dare to not complete the mission given by Holy Lord Demonic Flame. This time, the mission given by the Demonic Flame's Sacred Lord was to obtain the Han Desert Kingdom's Han Desert Heart. This Han Desert Heart was none other than the entire Han Desert Kingdom's nation-protecting stone. If the Han Emo Kingdom did not have the heart of the Han Emo Kingdom, the entire country would probably be drowned by this desert. The Han Mo's heart was also an important item to revive the Demonic Flame's Sacred Lord. That was why Sacred Lord Demonic Flame sent Sacred Lord 13 to the Han Emo Kingdom to take the Han Emo heart. This was because the smaller the number, the stronger one's strength was. Among the 66 Sacred Lords, Sacred Lord 13 was considered an expert. At this moment, outside Xiao Changshan's room. Expert, your pet has been placed at the door. The guard trembled as he spoke to Xiao Changtian. After saying that, she quickly walked away. It was not because of anything else, but because the guards who were sent there did not expect Xiao Changshan's pet to be a Qilin auspicious beast. When he saw this Qilin, he was so scared that he almost knelt down. Who knew how much courage he had mustered to bring the Qilin here? Thank you. Xiao Changtian smiled gratefully at the departing figure. However, there's no need to run so fast. Xiao Changtian didn't know why the guard ran so fast. He wanted to thank him properly. Woo-woo. Kailin looked at Xiao Changtian and howled. Because the Qilin had already smelled the strong demonic aura, its originally not hungry stomach instantly became hungry again. Little guy, you must be hungry. They'll find you something to eat. Don't run around. Xiao Changtian said with a smile as he looked at Qilin. Seeing that Xiao Changtian had left, Qilin didn't hesitate and quickly ran towards the place with dense demonic qi. I have to quickly eat that demonic qi. I can't let Master find out. After saying that, Qilin quickened his pace. At this moment, the Imperial Advisor was looking at the heart of the desert in the secret room with a smile on his face. Ah, the heavens don't disappoint those who work hard. I've finally found it. He did not expect the heart of the desert to be hidden in this place. Looking at the heart of the desert that was emitting a golden light, Holy Master 13 had a huge smile on his face. Good fellow, he'll take you down soon. Holy Master 13 carefully walked towards the football-sized heart of the desert. Roar, roar. At this moment, the Qilin's voice suddenly came from the entrance of the secret chamber. What is it? Hearing that voice, Holy Master 13 stopped in his tracks. He looked at the entrance with an unfriendly expression. What? He saw Qilin running in from the entrance on his short legs. Damn dog, why are you causing trouble at this time? Hurry up and get lost. Looking at the Qilin, Holy Master 13's expression changed again. Initially, he thought that someone had discovered him. Who knew that it was an ugly dog? Damn dog. Qilin did not expect that the moment he arrived, this demon would actually say such things about him. In an instant, Qilin's anger surged into his heart. Yo? This dog can speak human language? Just as Holy Master 13 was about to turn around, he heard Qilin's angry words. Let me tell you, damn dog. I'm in a good mood today. Get out of here quickly, or don't blame me for being rude. Holy Lord 13 said disdainfully as he looked at Qilin. Holy Master 13 didn't recognize Qilin. Because of this thought, it wasn't strange for someone in the royal family to raise a talking dog. Therefore, Holy Master 13 didn't take Qilin to heart. Instead, he thought about Han Mo's heart. All right, you demon, you have completely angered me. The Qilin looked at Sacred Lord 13 in front of him, and the pressure on its body instantly erupted. You're not a dog. Originally, Holy Master 13 had planned to kick this damn dog out. In the end, he did not expect this thing to erupt with such a huge pressure in an instant. You're a Qilin. However, just as Holy Master 13 was panicking, he finally saw the appearance of this damn dog. How was this a dead dog? That was clearly a Qilin auspicious beast. An existence that he could not afford to offend at all. What? How did this happen? Looking at the Qilin in front of him, Holy Master 13 was very frightened because he knew that the difference in strength between the two of them was huge. If this Qilin moved a finger, he would die without a burial place. Lord Qilin. I was wrong just now. Holy Master 13 slapped himself and said to Qilin, it's all this kid's fault. This little one had eyes but did not recognize Mount Tai. Please forgive me. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 826, 13 Deaths of the Holy Lord, 1. Although Holy Master 13 could be considered an expert in the demon race, he had never seen a divine beast like the Qilin auspicious beast. He knew that this Qilin in front of him was an existence that he could not afford to offend. Do you know your mistake now? Hey, it's too late. Qilin did not care about Holy Master 13's begging. He only snorted in disdain. No, I can't. If you really attack me, Sacred Lord Demonic Flame won't let you off. Sacred Lord 13 saw that he could not beg for mercy, so he immediately threatened fiercely, our Sacred Lord Demonic Flame is about to break through to Saint Emperor. You'd better think twice. Holy Master 13 looked at the Qilin that was getting closer and closer. Although there was fear on his face, he still looked like he would rather die than submit. Bang! How noisy! So what if you demons are Saint Emperors? You're just food in my stomach. Qilin slapped Holy Master 13 to the ground. Qilin said disdainfully as he looked at Sacred Lord 13 who was in pain on the ground. Just you wait. Our demonic flame's Sacred Lord won't let you go just like that. Holy Master 13, who was smashed to the ground, looked at the Qilin with bloodshot eyes as if he wanted to swallow the Qilin alive. Bang! However, before Holy Master 13 could finish speaking, Qilin stepped on his chest. The Qilin's body wasn't very big, but at this moment, Holy Master 13 felt as if a huge mountain was pressing down on him. Blood couldn't help but flow out of his mouth. It's time to end it. Looking at Holy Master 13 under his feet, the Qilin let out a cold snort before biting down fiercely. At this moment in the demon realm, reporting to Sacred Lord Demonic Flame, Holy Master 13's light sign has been extinguished. In the dim hall of the demon race, a demon reported loudly. What is it? The Holy Lord 13, who was sent to the Han Mo Kingdom, is dead? Sacred Lord Demonic Flame was slightly stunned when she heard this news. Right just now, Holy Master 13's lamp sign was extinguished and shattered. It looked like even his soul had been shattered. The demon cultivator immediately replied. Who is it? He actually killed Holy Master 13? Sacred Lord Demonic Flame looked into the distance thoughtfully. One had to know that Sacred Lord 13's strength was considered extremely high among so many demons. There were very few people who could defeat him. But now, who could actually kill Holy Master 13 and shatter his soul? Send someone to investigate. I want to see who is so bold. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame looked at that person and said, yes. The demon cultivator replied without hesitation. What happened? We can't get the Han Mo's heart back. After a while, the demon god Saintess walked over from afar and asked, I don't know which damn person actually attacked my demon race. It seems that we can't continue to act in hiding like this. Otherwise, those damned cultivators of the human world will really think that our demon race has fallen. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame looked at the demonic god Saintess and said slowly, but without the Han Mo's heart, the Devil Master's absorption this time will drag on for a long time. The demonic god Saintess frowned. Oh right, also, the Heaven Secrets Pavilion seems to be looking for an opportunity to attack us. If we make a big fuss at this time, will we? The demonic god Saintess looked at Sacred Lord Demonic Flame and said, Hee, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets? That puny Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets wants to go against our demon race? He's simply courting death. As long as he dares to make a move, our demon race will definitely fight him at any time. After all, our demon race has been in a truce for 100 years. In these 100 years, we have accumulated enough energy. We are just one step away from reviving the Demon Master. As long as we revive the Demon Master, not to mention the Prophecy Pavilion, even the entire Jade Lake Sacred World will belong to our demon race. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame wasn't too concerned about the Heaven Secrets Pavilion. Although the Heaven Secrets Pavilion had won the battle against the demon race 100 years ago, it had already declined beyond recognition after so many years. There was nothing to be afraid of. This time, this Holy Master wants to see which blind person dares to ruin my good thing. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame snorted coldly and left the demon race hall. At that time, after the Qilin swallowed the demon into its stomach, it let out a loud burp. I didn't expect this demon to have so much energy. Qilin nodded in satisfaction. Then he remembered that Xiao Changtian was probably waiting for him in the room, so he quickly ran back. Aya, where did you go? I won't see you if I bring back food. You scared me. Xiao Changtian, who was looking for the Qilin, said helplessly when he saw Xiao Changtian jump down from the wall. Whoa. Kylin looked at Xiao Changtian and whimpered. Why did you get bigger? However, when Xiao Changtian was about to bring the Kylin back, he found that the Kylin, which had only reached his calf, was now above his knee. D*MN, are you taking hormones? How did you grow so big? Xiao Changtian looked at Qilin in disbelief. His eyes were filled with shock. I'm doomed. I forgot about this. Master, will you blame me? Looking at Xiao Changshan's expression, Qilin's heart thumped. He only cared about eating his fill and forgot about the changes in his body. If Master knew that he had eaten that unclean thing, would Zay blame him? When we get back, I'll definitely find someone to take a look at you. How did you grow so fast? Xiao Changtian looked at Qilin and murmured, "At this rate, it would not be long before this little fellow grew to a huge size. At that time, he would definitely have to feed more things than he did now." The Qilin looked at Xiao Changtian and made a mental note to himself. He had to pay attention to his warning in the future. He couldn't let his master find any clues. The next day, Xiao Changtian was woken up by the noise outside. "What's going on? Why is it so lively so early in the morning?" After being woken up by the commotion outside, Xiao Changtian was no longer sleepy, so he got up and walked outside. "Senior, you're finally awake." Seeing Xiao Changtian come out of the room, Princess Han Mo immediately went up and said, It's over. This princess can't be asking me to deal with the state preceptor so early in the morning, right?" Looking at Princess Han Mo, Xiao Changtian thought. Before he could think of a way to deal with the state preceptor, this Princess Han Mo came. If he really couldn't do it, he could just go up himself. After all, the system had tested that the state preceptor's talent was trash. "Thank you so much, Senior. He helped our Han Mo kingdom to eradicate such a huge threat." However, Princess Han Mo thanked Xiao Changtian excitedly. This was completely out of Xiao Changshan's expectations. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 827, The Gratitude of the Han Mo Kingdom, 1. Seeing Princess Han Mo's enthusiasm, Xiao Changtian laughed loudly. Could it be that the state preceptor was already dead? But I didn't do anything. What was going on? Xiao Changtian was also confused about this. However, since the state preceptor had already been eliminated, wasn't that a good thing for him? However, this could be considered killing two birds with one stone. Not only did he obtain the spirit tree seed, but he also obtained the recognition of the Han Mo Kingdom. "Senior, please stay and let our Han Mo Kingdom hold a celebratory banquet for you. What do you think?" Princess Han Mo looked at Xiao Changtian and asked. This was not only his own will, but also the will of the Han Mo King and the common will of the Han Mo royal family. They were really lucky to have met such a powerful senior. Therefore, the Han Mo Kingdom didn't want to give up the chance to win Xiao Changtian over, so they sent the Han Mo princess to invite Xiao Changtian. "No, I still have important matters to attend to, so I won't stay in the Han Mo Kingdom any longer." Xiao Changtian smiled as he looked at Princess Han Mo. After all, he still had to hurry and find the next spirit tree seed. He did not know how much money his glorious star restaurant had earned over such a long time. Was it enough for the next message? "That's true. Senior, a person like you definitely won't have time." Princess Han Mo said regretfully when she heard Xiao Changtian reject her invitation. "By the way, Senior, my father said that if you're unwilling, can you let him see you?" Princess Han Mo asked carefully. "Of course you can." Xiao Changtian didn't reject this request. After all, he still had some time. At that time, in the pavilion of heavenly secrets of the Han Mo Kingdom. "Elder, it's that Xiao Changtian." That elder from Stone City said that Xiao Changtian defeated the demon race's Saint Lord 13. Furthermore, he had forced out Han Mo King's demonic chi in the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. A cultivator of the Heaven Secrets Pavilion reported to Elder Heaven Secrets. Although the people sent by Tianji Pavilion didn't know what happened, they still found out that it was Xiao Changtian who killed Holy Master 13. Therefore, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets placed great importance on Xiao Changtian. This matter must be reported to the Pavilion Master. At this moment, the elder said to that person with a serious expression, "Those who can deal with Holy Master 13 might be stronger than Holy Master 13, but to be able to deal with the demonic energy in the bodies of other cultivators so easily is definitely not something an ordinary expert can do. Therefore, this matter must be reported to the Pavilion Master as soon as possible." The elder ordered the cultivator with a serious expression. The elders of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets in various places could feel that the demon race was getting more and more rampant. There was more and more news about the demon race attacking the human world in the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Therefore, the elders of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets in various places also realized that something was wrong with dealing with the demon race. Now that there was such a powerful person, how could they miss out on him? At this moment, within Han Mo country. Hey, have you heard? The man who was captured to be the prince consort a few days ago. Now, even the princess was respectful to him. What ability does that man have? He actually let the female Luosha fight him like this? That's right. I was there at that time. Isn't that man just an ordinary person? Why would that female Rakshasa treat him like that? Today, in the Han Mo kingdom, everyone was discussing Xiao Changtian. The royal family of the Han Mo kingdom had announced that in order to celebrate Xiao Changshan's help, the whole country would celebrate for 3 days. Therefore, everyone knew that Xiao Changtian had become the savior of the Han Mo kingdom. Because the commoners didn't know about the news of the demon race invading the Han Mo royal family, many people were confused about Xiao Changtian saving the Han Mo kingdom. I think this mortal took our female Rakshasa. Don't tell me it's really possible. The surrounding commoners discussed again. At this moment, Xiao Changtian had already arrived in front of Han Mo king. Country ruler, it seems that you are already well. Xiao Changtian said with a smile as he looked at Han Mo king. Oh yeah, senior, I really have to thank you. Without your help, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to do it now. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Han Mo king immediately walked to his side and thanked him. Country ruler, you're too polite. This is just a piece of cake for me. One still have to thank you for being willing to give up the spirit tree seed. Xiao Changtian smiled at Han Mo king. Senior, this demon is truly savage. Our Han Mo kingdom is truly unable to guard against it. After the two of them pushed the blame away for a while, Han Mo king looked at Xiao Changtian and his expression gradually became serious. So, senior, since you're leaving, can you accept this Han Mo's heart? Looking at Xiao Changtian, Han Mo king took out the Han Mo heart that he had prepared earlier without any hesitation. Father! Princess Han Mo widened her eyes in shock. She thought her father wanted to thank Xiao Changtian to thank him. She didn't expect her father to give the heart of Han Mo to Xiao Changtian. If they gave the Han Mo heart to Xiao Changtian, what would happen to their Han Mo kingdom? The Han Mo king naturally noticed Princess Han Mo's anxiety, so he turned his head and glared at her, not saying anything else. This thing is so important to you guys. I don't want it. Xiao Changtian naturally noticed Princess Han Mo's anxiety and looked at the thing in the hands of the Han Mo king. He instantly understood. Although Xiao Changtian didn't know what this huge rock was for, he didn't want it. After all, it was so big and took up space. Moreover, judging from Princess Han Mo's expression, this thing was very important to them. I don't want it. Senior, this is the best gesture our Han Mo kingdom can offer. You can't not accept it. Seeing that Xiao Changtian had no interest in the Han Mo heart, the Han Mo king was also a little nervous. This senior must have seen a lot of treasures. He didn't care about their Han Mo's heart at all. However, this was also the thing that their Han Mo kingdom could take out the most. Although Xiao Changtian had obtained the spirit tree seed before, compared to the spirit tree seed, the Han Mo's heart was the most valuable one. When Xiao Changtian saw the Han Mo king's stubborn appearance, his face was filled with helplessness. He then looked at the Han Mo princess beside him and finally sighed helplessly. Oh right, since you gave me this, I'll exchange it with you. Then, Xiao Changtian found a stone that was about the size of Han Mo's heart from the system. Although he didn't know what it was used for, it was about the same size. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 828. The situation is serious. 1. This. When Han Mo king saw the stone in Xiao Changshan's hand, his eyes widened. Not only the Han Mo king, even the Han Mo princess covered her mouth in shock. Senior, we really can't afford this. Seeing the stone that Xiao Changtian took out, Han Mo king hurriedly refused. Han Mo king, what are you saying? Although I took it out, it's yours. Just treat it as an exchange. Xiao Changtian didn't know what use this stone had. Anyway, he didn't need it. He could exchange it with the Han Mo king and save himself the trouble of the Han Mo princess looking at him with that gaze. Alright, just take it. After Xiao Changtian finished speaking, he exchanged the stone in his hand with Han Mo king and left without looking back. Although the Han Mo kingdom was a little poor, giving him such a stone was still a token of their appreciation. He should accept it. Father, is what I'm seeing true? Princess Han Mo asked when she saw the Han Mo king standing there in a daze. It was not because of anything else, but because this stone was even stronger than the Han Desert Heart. This stone was called the Heart of Oasis. If they had this Heart of Oasis, the entire Han Desert Kingdom would benefit from it. As for this Heart of Oasis, not to mention 1 spirit tree seed, even 10 spirit tree seeds could not compare to 1 Heart of Oasis. This was, I can feel the boundless power of the Heart of Oasis. This is really the Heart of Oasis. Looking at the huge rock in his hand, Han Mo King's face was filled with gratitude. That senior is the savior of our Han Mo Kingdom. Meeting him is the fortune of our Han Mo Kingdom. At this moment, Han Mo King was so excited that he couldn't control his tears. With this Heart of Oasis, the Han Mo Kingdom would not have to be afraid of staying in this desert for hundreds of years. In the future, Xiao Changtian will be a distinguished guest of our Han Mo Kingdom. As long as he sees Senior, he must treat him with the highest courtesy. The Han Mo King, who had recovered from his excitement, ordered everyone. Although Senior has left now, if you meet Senior somewhere, you must be respectful. At the same time, inside the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets in Star Town. Pavilion Master, the intelligence reports from Stone City and the Han Mo Kingdom have reported that Xiao Changtian isn't ordinary. The Great Elder stood in front of the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion and reported. Moreover, these 2 places were simply making Xiao Changtian a legend, saying that Xiao Changtian was the savior of the human world. However, the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets had a look of disbelief on his face. He had seen Xiao Changtian before. He didn't have any strength at all. How could he defeat the demon race? This Xiao Changtian is quite interesting. Right, didn't he open Star Tower in Star Town? The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets looked at the Great Elder and asked thoughtfully. Yes, Xiao Changtian used his relationship with Master Wansho to open a restaurant in Star Town. The business is very good. The Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets told the truth about Xiao Changtian. Great Elder, do you still think he's immortal? Seeing the First Elder's reaction, the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets asked with a smile. Pavilion Master, I've seen it with my own eyes. I really can't feel any spiritual energy fluctuations from his body. He even looks more ordinary than ordinary people. The Great Elder of the Secret Pavilion told the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion what he had seen and felt without hiding anything. Because he had seen it with his own eyes, the Great Elder did not believe the news from Stone City and the Han Mo Kingdom. This person is really strange. I can't find any trace of Xiao Changtian before he came to Xingshan Town. The Pavilion Lord of the Secret Pavilion muttered as he looked at the distance. How about this, Great Elder? When Xiao Changtian comes back, you will follow me to the Glorious Star Restaurant to test him. At that time, I will pretend to be a mortal and approach him. This thought suddenly appeared in the Pavilion Master's mind. Such a strange person had completely caught the attention of the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion. But the Great Elder looked at the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion and could not help but want to tell him not to waste any more time. Great Elder, I know what you want to say, but you don't know that the demons have come openly. Moreover, we've received inaccurate news in the past few days that the demons have actually secretly bribed cultivators to attack the human world. Therefore, we don't have much time left. The Pavilion Master sighed. After all, the current situation was getting more and more serious, and their secret pavilion had long since run out of candidates to deal with the demons. Pavilion Master, I understand. The Great Elder also knew that the current devil race was not easy to deal with. Since the pavilion master was optimistic about Xiao Changtian, he might as well let the pavilion master take a look. At this moment, in the glorious Star Tower, Lai Jing felt a familiar aura coming from outside. Damn it, how did that guy find this place? Lai Jing looked at the familiar figure in the distance, his face showing impatience. However, she walked out helplessly. What are you doing here? Lai Jing asked impatiently. Oh my, I haven't seen you for a long time, but you've actually grown such a temper. Haha, I thought you had some ability. You're actually a waiter in this restaurant. You're really embarrassing the Scorching Sun sect. The woman in front of Lai Jing mocked him after seeing him. What does it matter to you what I do? Stop meddling in other people's business. Lai Jing rolled his eyes at the woman. This woman was none other than the daughter of the Scorching Sun sect's great elder, Lai Exit. She was also the person who despised Lai Jing the most. Lai Jing, with your strength, you still dare to speak to me like this. You're simply courting death. However, I'm in a good mood today, so I won't argue with you. Lai Exan looked at Lai Jing and said with a smile. If you have something to say, say it. I don't want to waste my time here with you. Looking at Lai Exan in front of him, Lai Jing's face was filled with impatience. Then I'll be frank. My father wants you to marry my sister. Lai Exan no longer hesitated and immediately revealed his motive. What is it? What are you dreaming about? You want me to enter the mastiff and give it to your sister? Stop dreaming. After Lai Jing heard this, anger appeared on his face. He had never thought that Lai Exan would humiliate him like this. Who didn't know that Lai Xin's sister was a fool? This Lai Exan actually wanted him to enter the mastiff for his younger sister. This was simply too humiliating. I know that my sister has some problems, but if you come to our house, we won't treat you badly. With the help of our family, are you still afraid that you can't deal with your brothers? Besides, your father has long given up on you. Lai Exan slowly said to Lai Jing. She didn't believe that this man would reject her. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 829, Lai Exan I. Moreover, as long as you can come to our house, my father can guarantee that your cultivation will reach the sacred sovereign realm. I won't let you suffer. Lai Exan looked at Lai Jing and said everything he could. This Lai Jing was such a piece of trash. Marrying her sister was considered to be an advantage. Ah, Lai Exan, you slut, you can keep dreaming. I will never enter your house. Facing Lai Xin's humiliation, how could Lai Jing endure it? Lai Jing spat at Lai Exan and coldly said, now that I have senior's guidance, my strength is different from before. Since you want to die, then I won't be polite. You asked for it. Lai Exan had never thought that Lai Jing would be so bold as to speak to him in such a manner. He was simply courting death. He was a great saint master, and this Lai Jing was simply too daring. He dared to go against him. Senior, you still want to guide you? Ha, what a joke. With your talent, even the gods can't save you. Now, you actually want to improve. What a joke. Lai Exan said disdainfully to Lai Jing. She didn't believe that Lai Jing could be any more powerful than before. Humph. If the tiger doesn't show its might, do you really think I'm a sick cat? When Lai Jing saw Lai Xin's sudden burst of pressure, he did not want to be outdone. The pressure on his body swept out in all directions. What are you doing? How is this possible? When Lai Jing's pressure exploded, Lai Exan was stunned on the spot. How did you advance to the sacred sovereign realm? Lai Exan couldn't believe it. Before he left, Lai Jing was clearly a saint master. How could he have broken through to the saint venerable realm in just over a month? This was simply a fantasy. Humph. I told you, don't think that you're really that powerful. You have to know that there's always someone better. Lai Jing looked at Lai Xin's hesitation and ruthlessly slapped out with his palm. Bang! Lai Exan, who had been struck by Lai Jing's palm strike, was sent crashing into the ground in the distance. In an instant, a human-shaped crater appeared in the ground. But how did your cultivation increase so quickly? Looking at the distant Lai Jing, Lai Exan said unwillingly. How could this trash from the Scorching Sun sect improve so much in a month? Humph. I'm happy today, so I'll spare your life. Hurry up and get lost, or don't blame me for being rude. 11 Lai Jing looked at Lai Exin, who was sprawled on the ground, without the slightest bit of pity. After all, this woman was not a good person. However, Lai Jing did not want the great elder to come here and cause trouble, so he let this woman live for the time being. Good. Just you wait. Lai Exin also knew that he was no match for Lai Jing. This Lai Jing was no longer the Lai Jing that he could bully as he pleased. Thus, under Lai Jing's gaze, Lai Exin quickly ran away. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect wanted to use Lai Jing's identity to become the next sect leader of the Scorching Sun sect. That was why he had come up with such an idea and sent Lai Exin to find Lai Jing. Lai Exin had originally thought that this matter was already in the bag. He didn't expect Lai Jing to be so powerful. Humph. I'll reach the Sage sect sooner or later. When that time comes, just you wait, Scorching Sun sect. Lai Jing muttered as he watched Lai Exin flee. When Lai Exin ran back to the sect, he quickly ran to the first elder's room. How is it? There shouldn't be any problems, right? The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect did not notice Lai Xin's strange behavior. He did not even look up and just asked indifferently. Because in his eyes, Lai Jing was simply a piece of trash. There was no need to scare him. He would definitely become a chess piece in his hands. Father. Lai Jing had already advanced to the sacred sovereign realm. However, before the first elder of the Sun sect could rejoice, he heard Lai Exin say, "What? Sage Master?" The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect raised his head and looked at Lai Exin in disbelief. Lai Exin, don't lie to me. How could that Lai Jing have broken through to the sacred sovereign realm? Are you joking? Then, the Scorching Sun sect's great elder looked at Lai Exin and said solemnly, "Tatter, why would I lie to you? Look, I still have injuries from him. He only lightly patted me, and I almost died in his hands." Lai Exin said with a similarly furious expression. How could this be? How long has it been? How could Lai Jing have such amazing progress? The Scorching Sun sect's great elder believed Lai Xin's words when he saw how excited he was. However, he still did not understand why Lai Jing had improved so quickly. Father, Lai Jing said that a senior helped him, but I don't know what exactly happened. Lai Exin followed. Senior? What kind of expert could teach that trash to be like that? It was simply unbelievable. By the way, does the sect master know about this? The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect murmured. Sect master probably doesn't know yet. I only found out today. The Scorching Sun sect master probably did not know that his good-for-nothing son had already reached the sacred sovereign realm. Then we have to act quickly before the sect master can react. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect murmured. At this moment, in the Myriad Swords Peak. Is father really gone? Qin Shou's eyes were filled with rage as he looked at the broken jade plate in his hand. This damn beast-taming peak. Qin Shou, will make them suffer even if one have to risk my life. Qin Shou did not know how his father had died. Looking at the broken jade token in his hand, Qin Shou blamed everything on the beast trainer peak. Since that old thief Wan Shou treated me like this, then don't blame me for being impolite. Uncle Qin, go tell the whole Gale sect that I, Qin Shou, am going to start taking revenge. This time, Qin Shou not only wanted to take revenge on the Imperial Beast Peak, he also wanted to take revenge on the senior they were talking about. If it wasn't for him, their 10,000 Swords Peak wouldn't have lost this competition. But young master, that fierce wind sect person knows that you are going to find trouble with Xiao Changtian and is not willing to cooperate with us. Uncle Qin looked at Qin Shou and said helplessly. For some reason, when that fierce Gale sect learned that Qin Shou was going to attack Xiao Changtian, they refused to come no matter what. Damned fierce Gale sect, they are actually so cowardly. I misjudged them. Then I'll go personally this time. Qin Shou gritted his teeth. And the fierce Gale sect's sect master had taken the risk to abduct Feng Linger in the first place. If he were to let him beat up Xiao Changtian again, wouldn't that be walking right into a trap? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 830, Revenge 1. But, young master, I don't know how strong that expert is. Are we really going? Uncle Qin looked at Qin Shou and asked worriedly. Uncle Qin, do you not believe me? Uncle Qin, have you forgotten what father left behind? Qin Shou asked coldly. Uncle Qin looked at Qin Shou's stubborn expression and didn't say anything else. Because Uncle Qin knew that the peak master of the Myriad Sword's peak had left behind his greatest killing weapon in the Myriad Sword's peak, and it was to deal with such an unexpected situation. Even a Saint King would find it difficult to withstand a single blow from such a killing weapon, let alone Taoist Wanshou. With this thing, that person from Imperial Beast Peak and the expert behind them will definitely not be my match. Qin Shou looked at the killing weapon in his hand and laughed coldly. This weapon was similar to modern pistols, but it didn't make any sound. If one was hit by it, even a Saint King wouldn't be able to last long. At that moment, Xiao Changtian brought the Kirin back to his courtyard. Master is back. How long has it been since I last saw Qilin? He's actually become stronger. When Xiao Changtian entered the courtyard, Black Tortoise and White Tiger looked at the two of them and whispered, Aya, it's been such a long time. Why are the two of you still so old? Xiao Changtian also noticed the White Tiger and Black Tortoise, so he walked up and said, Where is Ling? Where is she? Xiao Changtian looked around again, but he didn't find Feng Ling. He asked curiously, I don't need Ling Air's help in this situation. Why did it disappear? Looking at the empty courtyard, Xiao Changtian shook his head strangely. Damn it, where did that woman go? You really don't make me worry. White Tiger sighed and said after hearing Xiao Changshan's words. He seemed to have disappeared a few days after Master left, so White Tiger and the others thought that Feng Ling had left with Master. Unexpectedly, it wasn't. Sigh, White Tiger, looks like I'll have to trouble you to make a trip again. Black Tortoise said helplessly. Although Feng Ling Air's glass physique was beneficial to them, she had too many small tricks. Although the senior had always tolerated her, the Black Tortoise and the others had long seen through her. Therefore, they did not care too much about Feng Ling Air's whereabouts. Now that their master was looking for Feng Ling, they had no choice but to make a move. Xiao Changtian did not stay in the small courtyard for long after packing up. Instead, he walked towards Star Tower in Star Town. Just as Xiao Changtian walked out of the forbidden area, Qin Shou saw him. You're really lucky. I bumped into you as soon as you came out. Haha, so what if you're powerful today? Just wait to die under my gun. Qin Shou raised his spear at Xiao Changtian. Die. After aiming at Xiao Changtian, Qin Shou did not hesitate and quickly pressed the trigger. At that moment, a ray of energy turned into a stream of light and struck toward Xiao Changtian. Hiss, where did this damn mosquito come from? How dare you suck my blood? However, what Qin Shou didn't expect was that Xiao Changtian fiercely hit the attack at that moment. Then, Xiao Changtian waved his hand and continued to walk forward. What's going on? Uncle Qin, who was standing at the side, was so shocked that his mouth was so long that a few steamed buns could be stuffed into it. What's going on? Seeing this scene, not only Uncle Qin, but even Qin Shou widened his eyes in disbelief. Is this thing broken? That's impossible. Qin Shou looked at the weapon in his hand in disbelief. He couldn't believe that Xiao Changtian was killed like a mosquito. Qin Shou shot the killing weapon in his hand at a wild boar in the distance in disbelief. Bang! The moment the wild boar was shot, it fell to the ground with a bang and then spat out white foam at the mouth. What is going on with that Xiao Changtian? The things his father left behind were not broken at all. Looking at the dead boar, Qin Shou was even more shocked. This thing wasn't broken, but Xiao Changtian could easily slap it away. Has Xiao Changtian reached Saint Emperor? This is impossible. Qin Shou was still in disbelief. The entire Jade Lake sacred world had not produced a single Saint Emperor for so many years. How could that person be a Saint Emperor? Moreover, if it really was a Saint Emperor, would he have set up a stall in the first place? Young master, why don't we leave first? We can't deal with that person. Seeing this scene, Uncle Qin advised Qin Shou. Although he knew that the expert was strong, he did not expect that the expert was so strong that even the killing weapon did not have any effect on him. No. Since I'm already here, he had to let Xiao Changtian know how powerful he was. Otherwise, he would be laughed at by the Imperial Beast Peak when he returned. Qin Shou said to Uncle Qin unwillingly, I still want to avenge my father. I can't let this go. Qin Shou looked at Xiao Changtian's back and said fiercely, Xiao Changtian had something to do with his father's death. It was he who gave Feng Ling the cultivation technique that made his father so careless. Therefore, Xiao Changtian deserved to die just like the beast control peak. Young master, you have to calm down. You saw it too. That expert is really an expert. Uncle Qin looked at Qin Shou's stubborn appearance and still tried to dissuade him. After all, the Myriad Swords Peak's peak master was already dead. If Qin Shou died as well, then the Myriad Swords Peak would be completely finished. Uncle Qin, are we really going to let this go? I still want to avenge my father. Looking at the killing weapon in his hand, Qin Shou said unwillingly. His father had been killed just like that. He really couldn't accept it. Haha, do you want revenge? At this moment, a strange voice suddenly came from beside the two of them. Who is playing tricks there? Hearing this voice, the two of them were shocked. They had just turned around, but before they turned around, there was no one behind them. Don't be afraid, I'm from the demon race. A black shadow appeared behind the two of them and said with a smile, Demons. When Qin Shogun heard the word demon, he turned pale with fright and instantly took a few steps back. You two don't need to be so afraid. I know you want to take revenge on that Xiao Changtian. Why don't we work together? The demon said to the two of them. Because he knew that as long as the devil race was mentioned, no matter who it was in the human world, their expressions would change drastically. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 831. You're finally out. 1. This time, the demon race was here under the order of Sacred Lord Demonic Flame to eliminate Xiao Changtian. Sacred Lord Demonic Flame knew that Xiao Changtian had taken the heart of Han Mo, so he didn't attack Han Mo Kingdom anymore. Although the person he sent this time was not considered an expert among the demons, he had his own unique set of moves. Even those whose cultivation was one level higher than him were not his match. He was the 20th Saint Lord. You demon! We won't cooperate with you. Qin Shou gritted his teeth and said as he looked at the Sacred Master 20 in front of him. Don't be in a hurry to reject it. Take a look at this. He watched as Holy Lord Qin Shou smiled and took out the 10,000 Swords Peak Master Sword. This is my father's sword. Qin Shou's eyes widened in disbelief when he saw the sword. Where did you get this sword? Did you kill my father? You damned demon. But immediately after, Qin Shou shouted again. This devil was extremely crafty. Who knew what tricks he was going to play? Bang! However, in the next second, before Qin Shou could shout again, he saw Sacred Lord 20 fiercely attack him. When Uncle Qin saw this scene, his eyes widened in fear. I forgot there's still you. Looking at Uncle Qin, Saint Lord 20 smiled and threw a ball of black gas at him. Ah! Before Uncle Qin could scream, he was swallowed by the black gas. This young body is so comfortable to use. After this series of actions, the 20th Saint Lord quickly entered Qin Shou's body. This was because as long as a demon possessed a cultivator, they could hide their demonic qi very well. It was very difficult for others to discover that they were a demon. Don't blame me now. You asked for it. Towards Qin Shou, Saint Lord 20 was extremely disdainful because Qin Shou looked like a fool who didn't know how to be flexible. At that time, Xiao Changtian had already arrived at the Glorious Star restaurant. Senior, you're back. The moment Xiao Changtian appeared, everyone from Glorious Star restaurant went forward to welcome him. Not bad, not bad. It seems that you guys have been taking good care of the Glorious Star restaurant during my absence. Looking at the noisy scene in the Glorious Star restaurant, Xiao Changtian nodded in satisfaction. Of course, senior. Don't worry, we've earned a lot of gold coins. The white beast looked at Xiao Changtian and smiled. Xiao Changtian looked around with satisfaction. Aya, isn't this the first elder? Why are you here? Just as Xiao Changtian was about to sit down, he suddenly saw the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets walk in with a man. Brother Xiao, I heard that you're back, so I came to see you. I wonder if you've gotten the item? The first elder asked with a smile. Thank you for your concern, first elder. I have obtained the item. I'm just waiting to get one. Xiao Chang'an cupped his hands and said to the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets happily. First elder, let's just stand here and sit inside. Xiao Changtian warmly greeted the great elder and the person behind him. Hey, what's the identity of that old man? He actually let senior greet him? Boundless, who was watching this scene from the side, had a look of disdain. That old man's strength was the same as his. How could he dare to let senior go and greet him? Senior must have his reasons for doing this. The white beast explained. The white beast recognized the old man. He was none other than the great elder of the Prophecy Pavilion, and the person behind him was the pavilion master of the Prophecy Pavilion. Senior must have known that he was the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, so he wanted to entertain him. However, just as they were about to disperse and return to their respective posts, a large group of people suddenly appeared in front of the Glorious Star restaurant. Where's Lai Jing? Quickly call Lai Jing out. The leading cultivator shouted at the Glorious Star Tower. Who dares to shout in front of Glorious Star restaurant? Limitless rushed out angrily. These people were really audacious. The elder was still in the Glorious Star Tower, yet they dared to be so arrogant. Old man, I advise you to be sensible and call Lai Jing out from inside. Otherwise, don't blame us for causing trouble. The cultivators of the Scorching Sun sect looked at Limitless fiercely. The great elder of the Scorching Sun sect had sent many experts to capture Lai Jing so that Lai Jing would marry the foolish second daughter of the great elder. I want to see who dares to cause trouble. After the Scorching Sun sect members finished speaking, the few old men, the white beast, and Lorraine walked out. First elder, these people's strength is not low. Looking at the few people who walked out, the cultivator walked to the side of the first elder and muttered. What are you afraid of? How many of them were there? We brought so many people here. Can't we deal with these few people? Although these old men were very powerful, the leader of the Scorching Sun sect was well prepared. Looks like you don't know who we are. Limitless snorted and said when he saw how ignorant the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect was. Who are you? Are you just a handyman? The Scorching Sun sect's first elder said disdainfully when faced with Limitless questioning. Uncle Limitless, let me settle this matter myself. At this moment, Lai Jing walked out of the Glorious Star Tower and said, Yo, Lai Jing, you're finally out. I thought you were going to be a coward inside. Looking at Lai Jing's figure, the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect mocked him. You old fogey, don't even think about asking me to go back with you. Lai Jing looked at the Scorching Sun sect's great elder angrily. The first elder had been at odds with him in the Scorching Sun sect, but it wasn't that obvious. Now, his true colors were finally revealed. Lai Jing, I advise you to give up struggling. I brought so many people with me this time. Oh, right, I heard that you've reached the sacred sovereign realm. However, I've brought quite a number of people this time. Even if you have the strength of a sacred sovereign, you're still not my match. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect looked at Lai Jing arrogantly. He had made full preparations to make Lai Jing go back with him. Let me tell you, the senior is upstairs. I advise you to be careful. If the senior hears you later, you won't be able to bear the consequences. Lai Jing wasn't afraid of the threat of the Scorching Sun sect's great elder. With Xiao Changtian here, even if the great elder was a god, he wouldn't be able to take him away. Senior, what a joke. With your lousy physique, even the gods can't save you. The senior you're talking about is most likely a liar. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect was disdainful of the senior Lai Jing mentioned. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 832, A Mouthful of Water, 1. Even though Lai Xian had told him, when he arrived at Stellar Town, he still did not believe it. He did not believe that a true expert would open a restaurant in this place. What a joke! At this moment, in a private room of the Glorious Star restaurant, Xiaochengtan was warmly entertaining the pavilion master and the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. First elder, you two drink some tea first. Xiao Changtian personally served them 2 cups of freshly brewed tea. Seeing the two of them lift their teacups, Xiao Changtian also picked up the tea that he had just brewed. However, just as he took a sip, the hot tea sprayed out from the window. At this moment, the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect was commanding the people behind him. Capture Lai Jing alive. However, as soon as the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect finished speaking, countless water droplets that were as powerful as lightning suddenly fell from the sky above the Glorious Star restaurant. These cultivators were not prepared at all and were thrown into chaos by this sudden attack. Not only were they in chaos, but those who were hit by the water droplets all fell to the ground and spat out blood without exception. What's going on? The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect widened his eyes when he saw this. What was going on? What was that thing that had just fallen? It was simply unbelievable. I'm sorry, the two of you. I lost my composure. This tea is too hot, and I couldn't hold it in for a moment. At this moment, Xiao Changtian looked at the two of them and said embarrassedly. He had actually lost so much face in front of the great elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. It was really embarrassing. Brother Xiao doesn't need to care so much. We're all on the same side. The great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets laughed. He didn't take Xiao Changshan's actions to heart. After all, who hasn't lost their composure before? However, at this moment, there was a wave of panic below the Glorious Star restaurant. Who is it? How dare you attack our Scorching Sun sect? The Scorching Sun sect's first elder looked at the Glorious Star Pavilion angrily. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect had brought at least 80 people with him this time. They were all excellent cultivators that he had trained himself. Their cultivations were extraordinary too. However, all of them had fallen to the ground and could not get up. I already said that Senior is in the building, but you still didn't believe me. Now you've made Senior angry. Do you wait for us to strike, or do you hurry to run? Lai Jing said disdainfully as he looked at the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect. Did the first elder really think that no one in the Scorching Sun sect could fight him? It was simply laughable. When I return, I'll definitely report to the sect master that you're a heartless thing. You actually want to attack me. After the Scorching Sun sect's first elder finished speaking fiercely, he ran away. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect was not stupid enough to stand there and wait for them to attack. He had a high chance of winning with so many people at the beginning, but he did not expect that there was really a master in that place. It was just a few drops of water, and he had brought so many cultivators, and in an instant he had died tragically. It was simply too terrifying. Although he was no longer a sailor of the Lai capital, how could the great elder let go of this opportunity? He wanted to go back and sow discord between the Scorching Sun sect master and Lai Jing. He wanted to turn the father and son against each other so that he could reap the benefits. Watching the great elder of the Scorching Sun sect escape, Limitless clicked his tongue. Little Jing Zi, you have to thank Senior properly this time. Otherwise, that old man brought so many people with him. Even if your strength has reached the sacred sovereign realm, it won't be easy to deal with him. Limitless patted Lai Jing's shoulder and nodded. This time, I will definitely thank Senior properly. Of course, Lai Jing knew that the water droplet was spat out by Senior. Senior must have noticed this great elder long ago and finally couldn't help but make a move. In the end, he was the one who caused trouble for the Glorious Star Tower. Little Jingzi, don't blame yourself too much. If Senior was angry, he would have been angry long ago. Lorraine, who was standing at the side, also came over to comfort him when she saw Lai Jing's current state. Because Lai Jing was the youngest among them, they all affectionately called him Little Jingzi. Right, let's hurry up and clean up these. The white beast couldn't help but say as it looked at the corpses beside the Glorious Star restaurant. Just now, because of these things, who knew how many customers had been scared away? At this moment, in the private room of Xinghua Lu, Brother Xiao, this is a good friend of mine, Qianzi. He's also doing business. Seeing that your Glorious Star restaurant is so popular, he wanted to come over and have a chat. The great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets smiled at Xiao Cheng'an and said, all of this was the pavilion master's intention. He wanted to test Xiao Changshan's abilities. Aya, you're too polite. My restaurant might be in a good location, or else business wouldn't be so good. Looking at the owner of the secret pavilion, Xiao Changtan, he smiled modestly. Xiao Changtian looked at the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets who had a friendly face. He must be a businessman. Xiao Changtan had a good impression of such a person, so he looked at the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets more kindly. Haha, Brother Xiao is really polite. However, is it convenient for me to visit your Glorious Star restaurant? Looking at Xiao Changtian, the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets could not feel any spiritual energy fluctuation from him. However, he did not think that Xiao Changtian was really an ordinary person. Of course you can. Xiao Changtian agreed without thinking. After all, this was the person brought by the great elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. Xiao Changtian would not be stingy with the great elder of the Prophecy Pavilion. After all, he still had to buy information from the Prophecy Pavilion. Ah, Brother Tianzi, look, this is our kitchen. All the meat here is fresh. The first place Xiao Changtan brought the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets to was the kitchen. Senior Limitless and Lai Jing, who were helping out in the kitchen, looked at Xiao Changtian and said respectfully, you guys go ahead. They'll bring some people around. Looking at the two of them, Xiao Changtian waved his hand. It's actually Limitless, and the eldest young master of the Scorching Sun sect. When Pavilion Master Tianji saw the two of them, he was slightly stunned. Although Limitless wasn't very strong, he was famous. Now, he was helping Xiao Changtian in the kitchen and even called out to Xiao Changtian respectfully. It was simply unbelievable. The eldest young master of the Scorching Sun sect also came here to call Xiao Changtian senior. It seemed that Xiao Changtian was not an ordinary person. There's actually fierce tiger meat. There's also the inferno bear meat. When the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets saw the meat, he was shocked again. Because he had previously understood that the things in the Glorious Star restaurant were very cheap, but he did not expect such cheap meat to be such a powerful demon beast. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 833, The Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion is shocked. 1. What's wrong, Brother Tianzi? This is all good meat. There would definitely not be any adverse reactions after eating it. Xiao Changtian said as he looked at the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Ah, Brother Xiao, you misunderstood. I was just surprised that such good meat was sold at such a price. After Xiao Changshan's voice snapped him back to reality, the pavilion lord of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets laughed dryly. After all, it's not easy for these commoners. As a mortal, I can also feel how difficult it is for the commoners. Xiao Changtian looked at the pavilion master and sighed. Although Tianzi was a businessman, it seemed that he had never suffered much and did not know much about the people. Ah, that's right. No wonder Brother Xiao's business is so hot. Looking at Xiao Changtan, the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets complimented him again. Right, Brother Xiao, it's getting late, well go back first. After strolling around for a while, the pavilion lord of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets looked at Xiao Changtian and smiled. Although he couldn't confirm Xiao Changshan's strength, he could feel that he wasn't ordinary. Aya, how long has it been? Have a meal before you leave. Xiao Changtian originally wanted to keep the two of them for a meal, but he didn't expect them to be so anxious. Brother Xiao, I'll definitely come and catch up with you next time. Standing at the entrance of the glorious Star Pavilion, the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets smiled and waved his hand at Xiao Changtian. Not good. There's the aura of a demon. However, just as the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets turned around, he suddenly felt a wave of demonic chi brush past his shoulder. As he was the pavilion master of the secret pavilion, he had inherited the unique physique of the secret pavilion. He was very sensitive to the aura of the demon race. Even if the demon race possessed someone else, the pavilion master of the secret pavilion could still clearly sense that he was a demon race. Goodbye, come and play again if you have the chance. Just as the pavilion lord turned around, Xiao Changtian waved at him with a smile. The moment Xiao Changtian waved his hand, the demon who had just walked over was blasted far away. After Xiao Changtian waved his hand, he didn't pay much attention to it. Instead, he returned to the glorious Star Tower with a smile. What's going on? The pavilion master of the secret pavilion looked in disbelief at the demon who had just walked past him being knocked down in the distance. Pavilion master! That fiend seemed to be dead. The great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets looked at the Asmodeans who were blasted far away by Xiao Changshan's palm strike, his face filled with disbelief. Who is that Xiao Changtian? I can feel the strength of that demon. It's not weak. He just waved his hand and that demon died. The Pavilion Master and Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets were in a state of shock, unable to recover from their shock for a long time. They didn't even dare to imagine their own eyes. Pavilion Master, what should we do now? Seeing that the demon had completely disappeared from Qin Shou's body, the first elder of the Prophecy Pavilion muttered. Originally, he didn't believe Master Wansh's words. Even if he had seen Xiao Changtian, he wouldn't have believed that he was a powerful person. However, this time, the two of them had thoroughly witnessed what true strength was. The pavilion master of the secret pavilion was even more shocked. That aura had not only killed the demon, but even his soul had been shaken. If he had not been far away, he would have died like that demon. We were all blind. No wonder we couldn't find anything about him in the files. His strength has long surpassed our understanding. Looking at the glorious star pavilion in the distance, the pavilion lord of the secret pavilion muttered. This Xiao Changtian must be tired of the life of an expert and wanted to try the life of an ordinary person, so he treated himself as an ordinary person. Could this be the legendary simplicity? It was simply terrifying. First Elder, I think you should know what we should do. The pavilion master of the secret pavilion, who had finally regained his senses, looked at the great elder of the secret pavilion and said solemnly, "Go back and gather the elders of the Heaven Secrets Pavilion. I want to hold an emergency meeting. This expert might really be our savior." The pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets did not place his hopes on outsiders at first. However, after seeing Xiao Changshan's strength, his hopes were rekindled. Yes. At this moment, the great elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets no longer dared to be disrespectful to Xiao Changtian. He had never put him in his eyes from the beginning, and he was still so disdainful towards him. He was simply courting death. At that moment, Xiao Changtian walked into the glorious star restaurant and looked at Lai Jing, who was standing in front of him. He was dumbfounded. What is the meaning of this? Xiao Changtian asked as he looked at Lai Jing's sincere face. Senior, thank you so much. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Lai Jing bowed respectfully. No, what's going on? Xiao Changtian still didn't know what was going on. Why did he thank her so suddenly? Senior, just now little Jingzi's family came. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Ruolan could not help but remind him. Oh, I see. You can rest assured and stay here. Hearing Luolan's words, Xiao Changtian instantly understood. So it was the family of the Lai capital. Seeing his son's new appearance, he couldn't help but praise him. It seemed that his decision to keep Lai Jing was correct. He hoped that this rich second-generation heir's family could take care of his business. There's no need to thank me so much. Just treat this as your own home. Xiao Changtian patted Lai Jing's shoulder happily and then returned to his courtyard. I already said that Senior isn't angry at all. Little Jingzi, don't worry. Seeing Lai Jing's lingering fear, Lorraine comforted him. That's right. When you came here, Senior didn't treat you as an outsider. Don't worry. With Senior around, no one will dare to bully you. The white beast said. Senior is really a good person. Lai Jing looked at Xiao Changshan's back and sighed. Meanwhile, in the Scorching Sun sect. Sect Master, you have to control eldest young master well. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect looked at the sect leader of the Scorching Sun sect and said aggrievedly. Great elder, I've abandoned that unfilial son a long time ago. Even if he did something, don't look for me. The Scorching Sun sect's sect master said impatiently when he saw the first elder talking about Lai Jing with an aggrieved expression. He had long wanted to expel his eldest son from the sect. But, sect master, eldest young master received the help of an expert and his strength has broken through to the sacred sovereign realm. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect took 2 steps forward and said, if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 834. Qilin in Estrus, what did you say? His cultivation base has broken through to the sacred sovereign. The Scorching Sun sect's sect master had been indifferent at first, but after hearing that, his face was filled with surprise. First elder, you can't lie to me about this. The Scorching Sun sect master asked in disbelief. Io, sect master, do I have to lie to you about this? The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect looked sincere and did not seem to be lying at all. Great elder, isn't this a good thing? Why are you so angry? Looking at the first elder, the Scorching Sun sect master was very confused. Although the leader of the Scorching Sun sect was extremely disappointed with Lai Jing was still his eldest son. This wasn't a bad thing for the Scorching Sun sect. However, why was the first elder acting like this? Sect master, you don't know this. I just learned of this news. After I received the news, I was very excited and wanted to congratulate the eldest young master. But I didn't expect it. The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect was very excited at the moment. When he talked about Lai Jing, he looked regretful. I didn't expect young master Lai Jing to tell me to get lost. He said that he's so powerful now that he doesn't even care about the people from the Scorching Sun sect. He even said that he wouldn't care about you even if you went there personally. The first elder glanced at the Scorching Sun sect master carefully. As expected. Bang! This Lai Jing is simply defying the heavens. How dare you talk about me like that and look down on the Scorching Sun sect? How audacious! Just as the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect had expected, the Scorching Sun sect leader's face changed after hearing his words. He was furious. Where is that damned brat now? This sect master will teach him a good lesson. He's simply lawless. At this moment, the Scorching Sun sect's sect master wished he could appear in front of Lai Jing and beat this brat up. Sect master, please calm down. I heard that the eldest young master has met an expert. That expert is not to be trifled with. You must not be impulsive. Seeing that his goal had been achieved, the first elder could not help but be secretly happy. He wanted to make this father and son turn against each other so that he could take advantage of it. First elder, you've been speaking up for Lai Jing since he was young, but now he's getting more and more lawless. If we don't teach him a lesson now, I'm afraid he might come to attack the Scorching Sun sect next. The leader of the Scorching Sun sect had made up his mind. Even the first elder couldn't stop him. Sigh, sect master, this? All right then. In the end, the great elder pretended to be reluctant and revealed the location of the Lai capital. After him done, well, set off immediately. The leader of Scorching Sun sect didn't hesitate at all because he was very angry. By then, Xiao Changtian had already returned to the courtyard. The White Tiger was in the Starry Sky sect. Lord White Tiger, why are you here? Looking at the kitten lying in front of the main hall of the Starry Sky sect, Master Taoist Wansho immediately asked respectfully. 10,000 beasts. Master said that Feng Ling is missing, and he's in a hurry to find her. It's not convenient for me to appear, so you understand. White Tiger looked at Master Beastmaster and said slowly. After Master Wansho became the sect master of the Starry Sky sect, he looked more and more robust. Yes, sir. Lord White Tiger, I'll handle this matter personally. Taoist Master Wansho did not hesitate and immediately said after hearing White Tiger's words. I'll leave this matter to you. I'll go back first. White Tiger was relieved to leave this matter to Taoist Master Wansho. After all, Taoist Master Wansho was extremely respectful to his master. When the White Tiger returned to Xiao Changshan's courtyard, Xiao Changtian was still confused. Where did Feng Ling go? However, just as Xiao Changtian was in a daze, Qilin suddenly walked to his side. Roar, roar. Alright, what's wrong? Why do you keep shouting? I almost forgot that I haven't brought you to see why you've grown so big. Xiao Changtian looked at Qilin and said helplessly. However, even after Xiao Changtian finished speaking, the Qilin still howled a few times. No way, no way. You can't be in heat, right? Xiao Changtian looked at Qilin and thought of something. He said in surprise. What should we do? If she was in heat, it would be difficult. Xiao Changtian felt helpless when he saw the Qilin's expression. It was because he knew that he had never seen an animal of the same species as the Qilin. Even if the Qilin was in heat, it would not be able to find a suitable partner. What should we do? Why don't you try it out with a little white cat? However, when White Tiger, who had just returned from outside, heard this, his anus instantly tightened. Meowdish, then he looked at Xiao Chang'an and shouted. Just kidding, ha. Xiao Changtian didn't expect that the White Tiger was right behind him and even heard his words, so he smiled awkwardly. Forget it. Bear with it for now. I'll see if I can give you a vasectomy. Finally, Xiao Changtian looked at Qilin and said helplessly. Qilin did not expect that he was just complaining to his master, and his master actually wanted to cut off his descendants. It was simply too terrifying. Then, in front of Xiao Changtian, the Qilin ran away. At that time, Taoist Master Wansho received news of Feng Ling as quickly as possible. At this moment, Feng Ling wasn't anywhere else. She was in the whole Gale sect, taking care of the crippled Kwangshan. Gather the cultivators of the Starry Sky sect. Well, go to the Violent Wind sect and bring Feng Ling back now. After receiving news of Feng Ling, Taoist Master Wansho immediately got ready and set off, rushing towards the whole Gale sect. Sect Master! Sect Master! Not good! Not good! The Sect Master of the Starry Sky sect has brought people here. At this moment, in the whole Gale sect, a cultivator hurriedly ran to the side of the whole Gale sect's Sect Master and said, What? What were they doing here? Could it be that they want to attack our whole Gale sect for no reason? The Fierce Gale sect's Sect Master said in shock. Because if the Fierce Wind sect were to really fight against the Starry Sky sect, they would not be a match at all. Now, it was actually the Sect Master of the Starry Sky sect who had personally brought people here. It was really too shocking. Sect Master, good, I think he's here to look for Feng Ling. The man continued. Feng Ling? Wasn't Feng Ling from Phoenix Perch Peak? Why was the Sect Master of the Starry Sky sect here personally? At this moment, the Fierce Gale sect's Sect Master was somewhat flustered. He seemed to have realized that he had gotten into trouble this time. Is Feng Ling still at Kwangshan's place? The Fierce Gale sect's Sect Master looked at that person and asked. The current situation was very urgent, and he did not allow himself to be stunned anymore. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 835, Hand over Feng Ling Yun. That's right, Sect Master. The man immediately replied. At this moment, in Kwangshan's room. Knock, knock, knock. You haven't eaten yet. Such little strength. Kwangshan was currently having Feng Ling give him a massage. Over the past few days, Kwangshan had been coming to Feng Ling place in various ways every day. That was because the heavenly lightning at that time had not only broken Kuang Shan's legs, but it had also made it so that Kuang Shan could never touch a woman for the rest of his life. Therefore, Kuang Shan vented all his anger on Feng Ling. He thought of ways to make Feng Ling sad every day. Feng Ling could only swallow her anger. She could see that her master had been using her from the beginning. Now that she had no value, he wanted to squeeze her out. Such great strength. You're courting death. Looking at Feng Ling behind him, Kuang Shan said angrily. Kuang Shan, quickly let Feng Ling out. Right at this moment, the sect master of the whole Gale sect appeared in front of the entrance of the wild mountain and roared loudly. Uncle, what's wrong? Feng Ling is my woman now. Kuang Shan was startled by the sudden shout of the Gale sect's sect master. Hence, he opened the door and looked at the fierce Gale sect's sect master in front of the door. Kuang Shan had a dumbfounded expression. What are you, my man, this time? It was all your stupid idea. We're in big trouble. The fierce wind sect's sect master looked at Kuang Shan in this state and his face was filled with anger. If it wasn't for this guy insisting on Feng Ling, would there be such a thing? Hurry up and let Feng Ling out. I'll deal with you later. The fierce Gale sect's sect master had a face full of anger. Brother, what's going on? Brother? Right at this moment, Kuang Shan's mother rushed over from afar. When she found out that the Gale sect's sect master had come to look for Kuang Shan, she realized that something was amiss. Sister, just protect this kid every day. Now, it was all because of him that the sect master of the Starry Sky sect had personally brought people here. The fierce Gale sect's sect master looked at this elder sister of his and felt vexed in his heart. What kind of time was it now, yet she was still speaking up for Kuang Shan? What is it? The Starry Sky sect. That was impossible. Why would the sect master of the Starry Sky sect personally bring people here? Feng Ling was not wanted by Phoenix Perch Peak. When Kuang Shan heard this news, his face was also filled with disbelief. Wasn't the sect master of the Stellar sect always at odds with the 10,000 Swords Peak and the Phoenix Perching Peak? Why would she come for this person? It's not that you don't have intelligence. Do you really think that the sect master of Starry Sky sect is here for her? Have you ever thought that you offended that expert? The fierce Gale sect's sect master gritted his teeth and said, Zong. Sect master. The sect master of Starry Sky sect had already arrived at the entrance with his men. At this moment, a cultivator ran to the side of the fierce Gale sect's sect master in a panic and said, Damn it. Let's go take a look first. The fierce Gale sect's sect master glared fiercely at Kuang Shan before walking towards the door. Not long after, at the entrance of the whole Gale sect. Io, sect leader of the Starry Sky sect, what a rare guest. What brings you here? Looking at the Starry Sky sect's sect master in front of him, the Gale sect's sect master said with a smile. Cut the crap. Gale sect master, I'm here for Feng Ling this time. If you're sensible, hand her over quickly. The sect master of the Starry Sky sect went straight to the point. He didn't want to waste his time here with the fierce wind sect in front of him. Starry Sky sect master, don't be so angry. I know that I was wrong before, but now our Gale sect has deeply recognized our mistakes. Don't worry, we'll bring Feng Ling to you immediately. The Gale sect's sect master looked at the Starry Sky sect's sect master like a lackey and said, Hurry up and call Feng Ling over. Immediately after, the fierce wind sect's sect master said to the people beside him, Starry Sky sect master, please wait a moment. I'll bring Feng Ling here immediately. Looking at the sect leader of the Starry Sky sect, the sect leader of the fierce wind sect could only chuckle. After all, although the Gale sect was considered a large sect in this place, it was nothing compared to the sect master of the Starry Sky sect. They were no match for him at all. Moreover, there was such a powerful senior behind the Starry Sky sect. Even if the people of the Gale sect went up, they would not have a chance of winning. Sect master, Feng Ling is here. After a while, Feng Ling followed the cultivator over. Starry Sky sect master, look, Feng Ling is still fine. The fierce Gale sect's sect master looked at Feng Ling and chuckled. The sect leader of the Starry Sky sect looked at Feng Ling and nodded before taking her away. Looking at the people of the Starry Sky sect leaving in a grandiose manner, the sect master of the Fierce Gale sect finally heaved a long sigh of relief. Fortunately, they didn't attack us. Seems like Kwangshan is a disaster. After the Fierce Gale sect's sect master heaved a sigh of relief, he furiously returned to Kwangshan's room. This time, he was determined to teach Kwangshan a good lesson. At that time, the sect master of Starry Sky sect was on his way back with Feng Ling. "Thank you, sect master. You saved Ling Er's life." Feng Ling said gratefully to the sect leader of Starry Sky sect. "You shouldn't thank me. The one you should thank is Senior. If Senior didn't he look for you, I'm afraid you could only stay in the Fierce Gale sect." The sect master of Starry Sky sect glanced at Feng Ling and said, "Otherwise, why would he save the people of Phoenix Perch Peak?" Senior. Feng Ling was so touched that tears fell from her eyes when she heard the words of the sect leader of Starry Sky sect. At the same time, he secretly swore in his heart that he would treat his senior well in the future and would never play any tricks again. In the future, Senior would be his master. If Senior told him to go east, he would never go west. Then, the sect leader of Starry Sky sect brought Feng Ling back to Xiao Changshan's courtyard. "You can go in by yourself. I'll go back first." "All right, you should follow Senior well in the future. Don't mess around every day." Looking at Feng Ling, the Starry Sky sect's sect master did not say anything else. He turned around and left. Feng Ling smiled gratefully at him and walked into Xiao Changshan's courtyard. "Senior, you're back." Looking at Xiao Changshan's figure in the courtyard, Feng Ling excitedly threw herself into Xiao Changshan's arms. Ling, where have you been these past 2 days? I thought you quit." Looking at Feng Ling in his arms, he said with a smile, "Senior, these few days Originally, Feng Ling wanted to complain to Xiao Changtian, but when she thought of her terrible experience, she chose to shut her mouth. It was already his greatest fortune to be able to stay by Senior's side, so he did not expect too much. "Gotcha!" At this moment, Lai Jing pushed open the door and saw Xiao Changtian hugging Feng Ling intimately. "I'm sorry, Senior. I came at the wrong time." Before Xiao Changtian could react, Lai Jing closed the door and ran away. As expected of a senior, he started in the courtyard. Lai Jing muttered as he walked. "If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 836, The Secret Pavilion's Decision, 1. Hey! Before Xiao Changtian could react, he saw Lai Jing running out. Looking at Lai Jing 1's departing figure, Xiao Changtian could only push Feng Ling away. "Ling, since you're fine now, you can stay here." Xiao Changtian smiled at Feng Ling. "By the way, Ling, do you know where else is similar to him?" Xiao Changtian pointed at Qilin. This guy didn't look like a dog or a cat. This was the first time he had seen this breed. If they were really paired, Xiao Changtian really wouldn't be able to find someone like him. Feng Ling was shocked when she saw Xiao Changtian pointing at the Qilin. "Senior, this was a Qilin. Although you feel that this Qilin is very ordinary, it's difficult for a second one to appear in the entire Jade Lake's sacred world. How could this match him? Even if he exhausted himself to death, he wouldn't be able to find it." "Yes, that's it." Xiao Changtian looked at Qilin and nodded. "Senior, I'm afraid it will be a little difficult." In the end, Feng Ling said helplessly, "Sai, that's fine. It can only suffer for itself." Xiao Changtian looked at Qilin and nodded helplessly. Even if Qilin was in heat, he had to deal with it himself. Who asked him to look so extraordinary? He couldn't find its kind. At that time, the inside of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was brightly lit. "Elders, the reason why I called you here in such a hurry is because I have something important to discuss." The pavilion master of the secret pavilion stood in the middle of the hall and looked at the many people around him. Not only had the nearby elders of the secret pavilion been summoned for this meeting, But even the elders of the secret pavilion tens of thousands of kilometers away had also been summoned. Pavilion Master, I wonder what is it that you called all of us here in the middle of the night? An elder asked in confusion. At first, he was prepared to sleep, but he did not expect to suddenly receive an urgent message from the Pavilion Master, so he rushed over in a hurry. He was not the only elder who was like this. The other elders were like this too. Everyone, please calm down. If it wasn't for something important, I wouldn't have gathered everyone. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets waved his hand at everyone to signal for silence and said, "Everyone knows that the demons have become more and more rampant recently. Let's go." The Pavilion Master said loudly as he looked at the silent crowd. I originally thought that this demon would at least take a long time to attack the human world. I didn't expect that hateful demon to actually catch us off guard. The Devil Race's sacred lord Demonic Flame said that the Devil Race won't care about anything else. As long as they revive their Devil Lord, they will immediately raise their troops to attack the Jade Lake Sacred World. At that time, our Jade Lake Sacred World will become the world of the Devil Race. The Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion slowly told the elders the news he had obtained. What? There's actually such a thing. This demon. It's simply lawless. Hearing this news, the elders present spoke again. This news was simply too sudden for them. In the beginning, although they knew that demons had appeared in various places, they did not expect it to be so serious. Now that they heard what their Pavilion Master said, they realized that the demons were really different from before. Pavilion Master, with our strength, why don't we form a team to attack the demons? At this moment, Elder E stood up and asked loudly. That's right, Pavilion Master. It's not like our prophecy pavilion doesn't have the strength. Why don't we go and suppress the demons? Then, another elder stood up and asked loudly. Elders, do you think I don't want to? Looking at so many people, the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion sighed and said, although our Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets has earned a lot of money over the years, have you ever thought that we can build a team to suppress the demons with just money? After the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said this, everyone present fell silent. This was because the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was right. The demons had left an indelible wound on the people of the Jade Lake Sacred World 100 years ago. As a result, everyone felt incomparably terrified when they heard the name of the demons. Although the Secret Pavilion had sold a lot of information over the years and earned a lot of money, in the end, they only had money and artifacts. As for the demons, even if the Secret Pavilion offered countless artifacts and gold coins, no one would be willing to go against them. Sigh, it's all our fault for not nurturing cultivators. In the end, the elder let out a long sigh. Elders, don't be so depressed. Just as everyone was frowning, the Pavilion Lord of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets continued. I know an expert now. Although I can't see through his strength, he might have already reached Saint Emperor. What is it? Saint Emperor? The originally quiet crowd instantly boiled up when they heard the name of the Sage Emperor. Saint Emperor? What a terrifying strength. Even in the entire Jade Lake Sacred World, there had not been one in 100 years. But now, the Pavilion Master said that she knew a Saint Emperor. This was simply unbelievable. Pavilion Master, is what you said true? After half a day, he still asked in disbelief. I don't think I need to lie to you about this. Seeing everyone's disbelief, the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion slowly said. Although he knew that it would be unbelievable if he told the elders about this, the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets did not doubt Xiao Changshan's strength at all. With just a wave of his hand, he could easily slap that demon to death. It could be seen how powerful he was. Pavilion Master, what do you mean? Looking at the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion, the surrounding elders asked again. Could it be that the Pavilion Masters wanted such an expert to help their Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets deal with the demons? Could it be that the expert was really willing? That's right. I just want to rope in that expert to help eradicate the demons. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said firmly. But, Pavilion Master, will that expert really agree? Many elders asked after hearing the pavilion master's words. So, this is the reason why I gathered everyone here today. At this moment, the pavilion master of the secret pavilion looked at the surrounding people with a serious expression. I just want all the elders to do their best to help the expert because the expert has been looking for the spirit tree seeds recently. Pavilion master. As long as an expert can help to eradicate the demons, let alone asking us to help find the spirit tree seeds, we won't complain even if we have to work for him. After hearing the pavilion master's words, these elders immediately said excitedly. This was because these elders were the descendants of those who fought against the demons. Now that the demons were rampant again, they could not sit idly by. Moreover, they were all from the prophecy pavilion. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 837, Placing Board 1. The next day, Xiao Changtian arrived at the Glorious Star Restaurant early in the morning. Looking outside the Glorious Star Restaurant, Xiao Changtian was deep in thought. Senior, what's wrong? Is there anything we need to improve on? Seeing Xiao Changtian standing in front of the door, the white beast asked curiously. There are indeed areas that need improvement. Looking at the white beast in front of him, Xiao Changtian nodded. The plaque of this place looks really old. Xiao Changtian couldn't help but say when he saw that the words Glorious Star Restaurant were peeling. Then, Senior, you'll get someone to get a new one? The white beast replied as it looked at the plaque with some peeling paint. No need. Xiao Changtian rejected the white beast's suggestion. It had been a long time since he had touched a pen. This time, he could find an opportunity to practice. What? Senior, then you... The white beast didn't know what Xiao Changtian meant. Did Senior have other ideas about this plaque? Yes, I want to mention one myself. Xiao Changtian smiled at the white beast. White beast, help me find one. I'll hang it up after I'm done. Great, Senior. After hearing Xiao Changshan's order, the white beast did not hesitate and quickly returned to the Starry Sky sect. Master, does our sect have an empty plaque? Is there a good brush and ink? The white beast ran to Taoist Wansha's side and quickly asked, Why do you want so many things? Is it what Senior wants? Taoist Wansho guessed as he looked at the white beast's flustered expression. That's right, Senior said he wanted to personally carry a plaque. The white beast quickly nodded. Master, does our sect have one? Senior said he had to hurry. There is, but... Taoist Wansho frowned slightly at this moment and said, I don't know if Senior will like those from our sect. However, those in our sect are considered the best in Star Town. I wonder what Senior thinks. Then Master, send it over to Senior to try. In case Senior doesn't mind. The white beast nodded as he looked at Master Wansho. Then, Taoist Master Wansho went to the Starry Sky sect's treasury and took out the best plaque and brush. Master, I'll bring it to Senior now. After the white beast received it, it quickly returned to the Glorious Star Restaurant. Why so fast? Xiao Changtian, who had just finished walking around the Glorious Star Tower, saw the white beast walk in with a pile of things. However, Xiao Changtian frowned when he saw the blank plaque in the white beast's hand. How did this guy get such a big red plaque? To be honest, placing it above Glorious Star Restaurant was a little too eye-catching and not very good. However, it was understandable that the white beast could bring it over so quickly. Seeing Xiao Changshan's reaction, the white beast understood. The Senior must have despised this plaque, but it was already the best thing in their Starry Sky sect. You've worked hard. Sit here and rest for a while. Although Xiao Changtian didn't like this color, he must have spent a lot of effort to bring it over so quickly. He didn't want to be too picky. Senior, this. Originally, the white beast thought that Senior didn't like these things and wanted to take them back. Who knew that Senior would actually accept them? Xiao Changtian didn't do much. He placed the plaque on the table and started to work. What? Xiao Changtian used the pen in his hand to write the words Glorious Star Restaurant on the plaque. Not bad. It looks much better hanging like this. Looking at the freshly made plaque, Xiao Changtian nodded in satisfaction. As for the white beast, it was dumbstruck. Xiao Changtian had only written one word, but the white beast felt as if its soul had been struck. Fortunately, the white beast averted its gaze after taking a glance. If it had taken a few more glances, it would definitely have been injured. Right, white beast, call Lai Jing and the others over and hang up this new plaque. Looking at the white beast, Xiao Changtian turned and said, "Yes." The white beast quickly ran inside and called everyone out. "Senior." Senior's brush strokes. This word. How can he be so powerful? It's simply too terrifying. When everyone saw the plaque that Xiao Changtian had just brought up, their faces all changed. They were in the same situation as the white beast. They felt like their souls were being attacked by Xiao Changshan's words. They couldn't even dodge the attack. Why is everyone standing there?" Xiao Changtian asked in confusion when he saw that they were standing there without moving. Senior, we have never seen such exquisite calligraphy before." We were stunned for a moment. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Wu Jiang quickly stepped forward and complimented him. "This calligraphy is the best we've seen so far." After Limitless finished speaking, the few people beside him all echoed. It wasn't that they were exaggerating, but because other than Xiao Changshan's calligraphy, no one else's calligraphy could give them such a huge impact. I just casually wrote it. It's not that good." Xiao Changtian said humbly. If not for the restriction of the plaque, he would definitely be able to write better. Moreover, his calligraphy was not just for show. After that, the few of them spent a lot of effort to hang this newly made plaque on Xinghua Building. At that moment, in the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. "First Elder, are you sure that Senior wants information about the Spirit Tree Seed? How much information was left on the Spirit Tree Seed?" The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets looked at the Grand Elder and asked. He had already thought of an idea to use the information of the Spirit Tree Seed to ask Xiao Changtian for help. Although he did not know if this method would work, the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion decided to give it a try. "Pavilion Master, Taoist Master Wanshou definitely wouldn't lie to me. He said that Senior wanted to find 9 Spirit Tree Seeds. Now that he has found one, there are still 8 left." The Great Elder told him everything he knew from Master Wanshou without missing a beat. "How about this? Let's go and ask the sect leader of the Starry Sky sect for his opinion first." In order to ensure their success, the Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion had to make thorough preparations. They might not be very familiar with Xiao Changtian, but if Master Wanshou were to step in, their chances of success would be higher. Without hesitation, the two of them ran towards the Starry Sky sect. "Yo, Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, what brings you here?" Master Taoist Wanshou, who was in the Starry Sky sect, looked surprised when he saw the two of them. This was because people of the Pavilion Master's level would usually not show up in person unless it was an extremely important matter. Even if Taoist Master Wanshou had seen the Great Elder many times, he had only seen the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets 3 times. It was obvious that the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets would not easily show himself. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 838, Intimidating the Demons. 1. Master of the Starry Sky Sect, you don't have to be so nervous. I have something important to discuss with you. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said with a smile as he looked at Taoist Master Wanshou. As for Taoist Master Wanshou, he found it strange. Why would an omnipotent place like the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets want to discuss something with him? Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets, if you have anything to say, just say it. If the Starry Sect can help you, we will definitely help you. Taoist Master Wanshou looked at the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. After all, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was not a small sect. If the Prophecy Pavilion owed him a favor, then the Starry Sect would have profited greatly. Sect Master of Starry Sky Sect, You also know that the demons have been getting more and more rampant recently. The demons have recently said that they want to launch a large-scale attack on the Jade Lake's sacred world, and we can't find a suitable candidate to deal with the demons. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets said everything he wanted to say. Until I saw Senior, I felt that he was our savior. Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets? The Senior you mentioned? Could it be a Senior I know? Taoist Master Wansho finally understood what the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets meant. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets wanted Senior to help him fight the demons. Pavilion Master, this isn't a small matter. The expression of the Pavilion Master of the Prophecy Pavilion, Taoist Wansho, became serious. It has to be known that Senior originally came to this place because he didn't want to expose his strength, nor did he want to be in the limelight. Now that the secret pavilion wants to invite Senior to fight the demon race, Senior probably won't be willing. Starry Sky Sect Master, I know that this matter is very sudden, but now that the demon race's power is growing day by day, we can't sit idly by anymore. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets sighed. Sigh, I don't have any say in this matter. How about this? I'll go with you to ask Senior. Taoist Master Wansho was also very helpless. After all, if the devil race really took down the Jade Lake Sacred World, no one in the Jade Lake Sacred World would have an easy time. Following that, Taoist Master Wansho led the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets towards the glorious Star Pavilion. After a while, the few of them stood in front of Xinghua Restaurant. This word. Looking at the huge words on the huge plaque that had just been installed in the glorious Star Restaurant, their faces were filled with indescribable shock. This is definitely Senior's doing. It's simply too shocking. The few of them looked at the big words and quickly came back to their senses. This was because the three big words, Glorious Star Restaurant, seemed to have a huge attack power. Just looking at it made them feel that their souls had been seriously injured. It seems that Senior must be tired of the demons and wants to use this word to intimidate them. The Pavilion Lord muttered, Uncle Wansho, what are you guys doing standing at the door? Why aren't you going in? At this moment, Xiao Changtian walked up to them and said. Xiao Changtian had gone hunting and had just returned when he saw them standing in front of the Glorious Star Restaurant. Senior, your words are really amazing. Looking at Xiao Changtian, the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets immediately stepped forward and said, Sigh, Brother Tianxi, it's all written casually. There's no need to praise me like this. Xiao Changtian smiled. He did not expect his calligraphy to still be so shocking. Just yesterday, Tianxi, who was still calling him brother, had been charmed by his calligraphy today. No, you can't call me Brother Tianxi. You can just call me Tianxi. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets immediately said after hearing Xiao Changshen's words. He was really bold at the beginning to actually call Senior his brother. Thinking back to that time, he felt a lingering fear. If Senior had been angry at that time, wouldn't he be finished? Fortunately, Senior had a good temper and didn't argue with him. Xiao Changtian looked at the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and nodded. This Tianxi must be someone who loved calligraphy. Since he wanted to call him Senior, then let him call him Senior. Oh right, Tianxi, if you like it, I can give you 2 more pieces of calligraphy. Xiao Changtian had a very good impression of the pavilion leader of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. After all, he looked so familiar. It's comfortable to look at, really, Rowie? Senior? The Pavilion Master of the Tianji Pavilion was excited when he heard Xiao Changshen's words. Just Senior's calligraphy alone would be enough to buy a lot of information from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Why would I lie to you? I'll personally write 2 paintings for you after I find a brush and ink in 2 days. Xiao Changtian nodded to the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. Just 2 paintings would not take him more than a few minutes. Right, why did you guys come together today? Xiao Changtian looked at them and asked. Aya, Senior, we have something to ask of you. Taoist Master Wansho immediately said after hearing Xiao Changshen's words. In that case, let's not stand here anymore. Let's go in and talk. Then Xiao Changtian brought a few people to the glorious Star Tower. Uncle Wanshou, what's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? Hey, Senior, I don't know if you're willing to do this. Taoist Master Wanshou looked at Xiao Changtian and said seriously. Uncle Wanshou, there's no need to be so polite with me. Just say whatever you have. Xiao Changtian didn't know why Uncle Wanshou was looking for him and why he was so serious. I'll let First Elder tell you about this matter. Taoist Master Wanshou looked at the Great Elder of the Prophecy Pavilion and nodded. Since he had not revealed his identity as the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets at the start, in order to continue accompanying Senior as a mortal, the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was not prepared to reveal his true identity this time. Senior, our Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets wants to provide you with information about the Spirit Tree seeds for free. However, I would like to ask Senior to help me fight the demons. At this moment, they were all staring at Xiao Changshan's reaction. Xiao Changtian didn't expect that they would find him for such a thing. However, I'm only a mortal. I'm afraid it's difficult for me to deal with the demons. Xiao Changtian naturally knew how terrifying the devil was. Just a single demon had caused the Han Mo kingdom to fall into such a great crisis. It could be seen that the demon race was not simple, and he did not have the strength to deal with the demon race at all. Although the conditions given by the Great Elder of the Secret Pavilion were very tempting and it was difficult for him to refuse, he still had to tell the truth. Senior, I know you probably won't agree to this, but we really need your help. The Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets had already guessed Xiao Changshan's answer, so he continued. Senior, when the time comes, you just have to follow. You don't have to do anything yourself. Oh, you mean that I only need to listen to the Heaven Secrets Pavilion's arrangements? Xiao Changtian nodded thoughtfully. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 839. A Big Plan 1. Senior, as long as you help, it will be fine. The Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets smiled at Xiao Chang'an. If that's the case, I won't be at a disadvantage. Xiao Changtian looked at the people in front of him and muttered. After all, this was brought by Uncle Wanshou. This Uncle Wanshou shouldn't cheat him, right? This way, the words, the way, it's not impossible. Xiao Changtian nodded. He didn't know how long it would take for him to save enough money to buy information. Now, he had a ready-made opportunity. Senior, are you agreeing? The Pavilion Master of the Secret Pavilion immediately said excitedly when he heard this. Yes. Xiao Changtian nodded. However, why was Tianxi so excited that he had promised the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets? Senior, I lost my composure. Didn't I agree to help the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets? Looking at Xiao Chang'an, the Pavilion Master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets immediately came back to his senses and explained. I see. I knew you weren't bad. Xiao Changtian nodded his head in praise as he listened to the Pavilion leader's explanation. A businessman actually wanted to know how to fight against the demons. If he did not join, it would seem too inhumane. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the Pavilion Master's eyes lit up. Could it be that Senior had acknowledged him? One had to know that obtaining the recognition of a senior was even happier than obtaining countless treasures. Great Elder of the Heaven Secrets Pavilion, since we've already discussed it, we can't go back on our word. You have to give me news of the Spirit Tree seed. Then, Xiao Changtian looked at the Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and said with a smile. Senior, don't worry. I definitely won't go back on my word. The Great Elder of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets quickly said. Senior was actually afraid that he would go back on his word. He was afraid that Senior would go back on his word. Since everyone is here today, then stay here for dinner. Xiao Changtian smiled and invited them. All right. Their faces were also filled with joy. Since Senior had asked them to come for a meal, it could be seen that Senior had already acknowledged them. After they had their fill, Xiao Changtian looked at the guests outside the door and suddenly had a flash of inspiration. Oh right, in the future, he'll sell some desserts. The harvest will definitely be good. Xiao Changtian murmured. Senior, what dessert are you talking about? The surrounding people were confused by Xiao Changshen's words. Because there was no such habit of eating after a meal here, because they were already full after eating, no one went to get those things. Desserts are snacks after a meal. They are used to relieve boredom and not occupy the stomach. Xiao Changtian knew that these people had never eaten before. Alright, you guys wait here first. They'll go show you guys. Before anyone could react, Xiao Changtian ran towards the kitchen. Senior is indeed a senior. You can actually think of such a thing. Seeing Xiao Changtian run to the kitchen, the pavilion lord sighed. Then why else would it be senior? Taoist Master Wanshou said emotionally. He was really lucky to be able to know such an expert like senior. Oh right, Starry Sky Sect Master, I wonder what senior is trying to do? Then, the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets asked in confusion. Moreover, there are so many spirit tree seeds. The pavilion master of the secret pavilion, you're short-sighted. After hearing the pavilion master's question, the mobile players smiled mysteriously. Starry Sky Sect Master, you don't have to keep me in suspense anymore. The pavilion master of the secret pavilion was really eager to know an answer. Let me tell you this. Since Senior chose to open a shop in Stardust Town, he must have set up a big chess game with this place as the center. Taoist Master Wanshou did not hesitate as he looked at the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets and said slowly. This was the conclusion that Taoist Master Wanshou had come up with after half a month of guessing. Otherwise, there would be no reason for Senior to stay in Star Town. It was even more impossible to open a restaurant in Star Town. You mean, set up a big game of chess? Hearing Taoist Master Wanshou's words, the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was excited. In that case, Senior has long known about the demons. This time, it's just a test for us? When he thought of this possibility, the pavilion master immediately understood. No wonder Senior had not wanted to help them in the beginning. It turned out that Senior had his own plans. Taoist Master Wanshou nodded when he saw the surprised look on the pavilion master's face. He had taken a huge risk by bringing the pavilion master of the secret pavilion here. He was afraid that Senior would be angry. Fortunately, Senior wasn't angry. Otherwise, he would be finished. Just as the pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets was digesting the news that Taoist Master Wanshou had told him, Xiao Changtian brought a huge plate of food from the kitchen. Come, everyone, come and try the dessert I made for the after-meal, double skin milk. Xiao Changtian said with a smile after they took the items from his hands. Double skin milk? This was the first time everyone had heard of this name. You guys should try it. Then he saw that there were several small bowls on the big plate, and each bowl had a milky white jelly-like thing. This double-skinned milk looks delicious. Lorraine looked at the milky white double-skin milk. After Xiao Changtian gestured, she impatiently took out a bowl. It's simply amazing. Lorraine only felt the fragrance of the double-skinned milk erupt in her mouth after she ate it. Moreover, the double-skinned milk was smooth in her mouth, leaving a lingering fragrance on her lips and teeth. Not good, I feel like I'm going to break through again. After Lai Jing finished 2 mouthfuls, he suddenly felt a huge surge of spiritual energy from his stomach. Then, before anyone noticed him, he quickly ran out of the glorious star restaurant. Boom, boom. The moment Lai Jing ran out, even the sky darkened. Someone is about to break through. Looking at the dark sky above Star Town, many people sighed. Lai Jing quickly ran to a small hill far away from Star's town. I can't let the heavenly lightning startle Senior. Lai Jing muttered as he looked at the dark sky. However, Xiao Changtian was looking at the dark sky outside the glorious star restaurant with a baffled expression. What's with this damn weather? Why did it turn dark just like that? Senior, as long as you want to, can't you control the weather? The pavilion master of the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets smiled and said when he saw Xiao Changshen's expression. First Elder, you overestimate me. Do you think these dark clouds will dissipate if I shout at the sky? After Xiao Changtian finished speaking, he pretended to shout at the sky. Xiao Changtian shook his head and left. At this moment, everyone was stunned. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 840, Lilun. No, it can't be. Looking at the scene in the sky, the first elder of the prophecy pavilion felt as if he was dreaming. Just say that Senior is an invincible existence in the entire Jade Lake sacred world. Taoist Master Wansho sighed emotionally. It was not because of anything else, but because Xiao Changtian shouted at the sky. Everyone could clearly feel that the lightning hidden in the dark clouds disappeared in an instant. And that dark cloud, also in a minute of time, all dispersed. Senior is really terrifying. Fortunately, I wasn't too arrogant at that time. Looking at this scene, Limitless sighed. With Senior's strength, he was probably already an invincible existence. No wonder he had to pretend to be immortal, because no one knew how lonely it was to be invincible. At this moment, Lai Jing looked at the lightning bolt that had suddenly disappeared with a dumbfounded expression. Could it be that Senior has helped me again? Seeing that even the dark clouds had dissipated, Lai Jing sighed. This must be Senior helping him. After all, other than Senior, no one else had the ability to dissipate the heavenly lightning. Senior, you're amazing. Looking at this scene, Lai Jing could only sigh and mutter. After the heavenly thunder had passed, Lai had also successfully broken through to the Sage Sect. For someone like him to be able to break through to the Sage Sect at such a young age, it was simply a shocking talent. All of this was thanks to Xiao Changtian. Brother! However, just as Lai Jing was sighing with emotion, a crisp voice suddenly sounded from afar. Lai Lu, how did you find this place? Hearing that voice, Lai Jing quickly turned his head. That voice belonged to none other than Lai Jing's younger sister, Lai Lu. Brother! Sob sob sob, I finally found you. Looking at Lai Jing, Lai Lu immediately threw himself into Lai Jing's arms and started crying. Lu, what's wrong? Did someone bully you? Looking at Lai Lu in his arms, Lai Jing consoled her. Lai Lu had the same mother as Lai Jing. In the Scorching Sun sect, only the two of them were the closest. Although his other siblings had the same father, they did not have the same mother. Therefore, his other siblings had been instilled with the idea of competing with him for the position of the leader of the Scorching Sun sect since they were young. They had been ostracizing Lai Jing since they were young. Lai Jing's mother had died during childbirth when Lai Lu had spoken. Therefore, in the Scorching Sun sect, only the two siblings depended on each other. Brother, his father said. He said he wanted me to marry into the barbarian sect. Lai Lu cried in Lai Jing's arms. What? When Lai Jing heard Lai Lu's words, his expression changed and a nameless anger surged in his heart. How dare he? How dare I marry you to a barbarian race? Lai Jing gritted his teeth. The barbarian race that Lai Lu mentioned was a very remote sect. Although that sect was very remote, its influence in that place was extremely extensive. Therefore, the people there were also very vulgar. There was also a terrifying custom that the older brother and younger brother could share a wife. Moreover, the barbarians treated women as tools to give birth. As long as a woman gave birth to enough children, it meant that she had no value anymore. At that time, they would drive her away. The Scorching Sun sect's sect master, their biological father, had actually allowed Lai Lu to marry into such a sect. This was simply going too far. Brother, what should we do? The barbarians had already sent people. Father said that if I didn't want to, he would send someone to kidnap me. It took me a lot of effort to escape from his surveillance. Lai Lu said with tears streaming down her face. Her father's decision was too outrageous. Damn it. Lai Lu. Today, I'm going back to argue with him. He actually dared to do such a thing. Then don't blame me for not caring about our father-son relationship. Lai Jing said angrily. Oh right, I'll go back and tell Senior first. Wait for me here first. After saying that, Lai Jing quickly ran towards the Glorious Star restaurant. Meanwhile, in the Scorching Sun sect, Lai Jing's younger brother, Lai Hua, stood beside the leader of the Scorching Sun sect and said with a smile, although Lai Jing has broken through to the Saint Venerable realm, he is still not a match for the barbarian sect. I think, father, your decision is correct. Lai Hua wanted Lai Jing and Lai Lu to never return to the Scorching Sun sect. Because of their mother's death, the Scorching Sun sect master had taken good care of them since they were young. Fortunately, they were both disappointing and made the Scorching Sun sect master angry every day. Now, their father was very disappointed in them. The barbarian sect is too powerful. Even if I didn't want Lai Lu to go, there was nothing I could do. Now, Lai Lu actually went to look for her good-for-nothing brother. I want to see what ability Lai Jing has to resolve this matter. The Scorching Sun sect master still looked down on Lai Jing, even though Lai Jing had become a saint venerable. At this moment, in Star Magnificent Tower, Lai Jing, where did you go just now? In the blink of an eye, she disappeared. Xiao Changtian asked when he saw Lai Jing rushing back. Senior, I have something to do at home. My sister is waiting for me outside the town, so I want to go back and deal with it. Lai Jing went straight to the point. I see. Since you have something to do at home, you should go back first. Xiao Changtian nodded. After all, who wouldn't suddenly have something happen at home? Oh right, don't go yet. Bring the rest of the double skin milk to your sister. Then, Xiao Changtian placed the milk into a container and handed it to Lai Jing. Thank you, senior. Looking at the double-skinned milk in his hand, Lai Jing bowed deeply. The value of this thing was self-evident, and senior had given it to him so generously. Then, Lai Jing quickly left the Glorious Star restaurant. Roar roar. Just as Lai Jing walked out of the Glorious Star restaurant, he saw Qilin standing in front of him. Senior Qilin, I have something important to do. I can't accompany you for the time being. Lai Jing said apologetically as he looked at Qilin. Since Lai Jing had been staying in Xiao Changshan's courtyard, their relationship had gradually improved after Qilin's return. Brat, I know you're in trouble. Aren't you going to take me with you? Qilin looked at Lai Jing and said helplessly. Senior Qilin, are you really willing? Lai Jing said in surprise. Although the Qilin had lived for hundreds of years, it was still considered a child in the Qilin clan at this age. The young Qilin was playful, so when it saw Lai Jing leave, it wanted to follow him. Of course. Qilin nodded and followed behind Lai Jing. Lai Jing happily brought Qilin to find his sister. Eat some of this double-skinned milk and well set off. Lai Jing smiled as he took out the double-skinned milk and said, if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 841, Returning to the Scorching Sun Sect 1. Brother, what is this? Looking at the double-skinned milk in Lai Jing's hand, Lai Lu asked with some disdain. Because the double-skin milk had been badly shaken by Lai Jing in the container, it did not look like double-skin milk at all. In Lai Le's eyes, it looked like a bottle of paste. Trust me. I won't harm you. Looking at Lai Le's disgusted expression, Lai Jing said helplessly. It was all his fault for being too anxious. He had shaken this thing to such an extent. Lai Lu looked at Lai Jing's eager gaze and helplessly took a small bite. Originally, Lai Lu had thought that her brother had given her a dark dish. She had not expected that the moment she ate it, she would feel an obvious fragrance. Brother, this thing is really good. Lai Lu looked at Lai Jing with a face full of pleasant surprise. She had never thought that her brother would be able to find such delicious food. However, just as Lai Lu was about to say something, she suddenly felt the spiritual energy in her body surge violently. What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm about to break through? Lai Lu said in surprise as he felt the changes in his body. Brother, I broke through. I've broken through to become a great saint master. Lai Lu looked at Lai Jing in surprise. Brother, this thing is so magical. Looking at the double-skinned milk in his hand, an indescribable excitement appeared on Lai Le's face. Don't be too agitated. I already said that I won't harm you. Looking at Lai Lu, Lai Jing also smiled happily. Let's go back to the Scorching Sun sect now. Then, Lai Jing led Lai Lu and Qilin in the direction of the Scorching Sun sect with a serious expression. The Qilin had concealed its aura from the start. Coupled with Lai Le's excitement of breaking through to the Great Saint Master realm, he had not noticed the Qilin at all. He had only thought that it was Lai Jing's new pet. The two of them rushed back to the Scorching Sun sect with the Kirin in half a day. Reporting to Sect Master, eldest young master has brought Lai Lu back. At this moment, a Scorching Sun sect cultivator ran to the Scorching Sun sect quickly and said to the sect leader, who was sitting in the main hall of the Scorching Sun sect. It seems that your young master is not that rebellious. He knows to bring Lai Lu back. On the other side, the great elder of the barbarian sect nodded in relief. Elder barbarian, I've made a fool of myself. Go. The Scorching Sun sect master said with a smile. Ask them to come over. At this moment, the great elder of the barbarian tribe that the barbarian tribe had sent was the most prestigious person in the barbarian tribe. At the same time, he was also the strongest person in the tribe. Although he was the strongest in the barbarian sect, he was only at the sage sect. However, the Scorching Sun sect couldn't fight against an expert of the sage sect. Therefore, the leader of the Scorching Sun sect had to obey the barbarian sect. Father, why did you let your sister marry into the barbarian sect? I don't agree. Before he could see Lai Jing, his voice came from outside the door. Brat, since when was it your turn to speak? The Scorching Sun sect's sect master roared angrily after hearing Lai Jing's voice. Last time, he had not settled the score with the first elder for the matter he mentioned. This Lai Jing actually dared to be so arrogant. They really didn't take him seriously. Hey, Scorching Sun sect master, don't be angry. After all, children are rebellious. The first elder of the barbarian sect watched this scene with a smile. Elder barbarian, I've really made a fool of myself. I didn't discipline this kid well. The Scorching Sun sect master smiled apologetically at the barbarian elder. Father, don't you know what kind of trash the barbarian sect is? Lai Jing also looked at the Scorching Sun sect master angrily. Sigh. Why are you bad-mouthing the barbarian sect in front of me? The barbarian elder's originally disdainful face instantly showed displeasure. Barbarian old thief. Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. If you want my sister to go, you must be dreaming. Lai Jing looked at the first elder of the barbarian sect with an unconvinced expression. You brat. The great elder of the barbarian sect had not expected that Lai Jing would be so arrogant and dare to shout in front of him. Blazing capital. What's wrong with you? This is the great elder of the barbarian sect. I think you need to be taught a lesson. The Scorching Sun sect's sect master did not expect Lai Jing to say such a thing. Lai Jing had always been the kind of person who would listen to whatever he said, but now that he had returned from a trip, things had turned out this way. This was definitely the senior that the great elder had mentioned, the one who had taught Lai Jing. Barbarian old thief. If you want to take my sister away, you have to go through me first. Lai Jing ignored the leader of the Scorching Sun sect and only spoke loudly to the great elder of the barbarian sect. Leader of the Scorching Sun sect, don't blame me for being impolite. The barbarian elder did not hesitate and quickly jumped to the opposite side of Lai Jing. Sect master, the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect, who was standing next to the sect leader of the Scorching Sun sect, was surprised. Originally, he wanted to let the father and son fight. He did not expect Lai Jing to be so blind as to provoke the barbarian elder. However, this was also good. He did not have to worry about it anymore. Damn it! The Scorching Sun sect master shook his head helplessly when he saw this. Lai Jing was really useless. He actually dared to provoke an elder of the barbarian clan. Boom! At that moment, the pressure on Lai Jing's body burst forth. What happened? How can you be in the sage sect? The barbarian elder, who had wanted to crush Lai Jing to death, was stunned when he sensed Lai Jing's strength. What happened? Lai Jing, how did Lai Jing break through to the sage sect? Not only the great elder of the barbarian sect, but also the sect leader and the great elder of the Scorching Sun sect were shocked. This was impossible. How long had it been since Lai Jing broke through to the sacred sovereign realm? How did he break through to the sage sect? The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect muttered in disbelief. No one dared to believe that it was just 2 months of time. Lai Jing had broken through from a great sage to a sage sect. This was simply a heaven-defying existence. Even if it was said, no one would believe it. Roar! Brat, you should go and rest. Let me deal with this old man. When Qilin saw this scene, he could not help but go forward to join in the fun. After all, he was here to help solve the problem. What kind of demonic beast is that? Just as Qilin released his power, everyone present turned pale with fright. Qirin. Looking at the Qilin's figure, the barbarian elder's face instantly turned pale. He really didn't expect to meet a tough opponent today. Wasn't the Scorching Sun sect easy to deal with? Why was it different from what he had imagined? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 841, Returning to the Scorching Sun Sect 1. Brother, what is this? Looking at the double-skinned milk in Lai Jing's hand, Lai Lu asked with some disdain. Because the double-skin milk had been badly shaken by Lai Jing in the container, it did not look like double-skin milk at all. In Lai Le's eyes, it looked like a bottle of paste. Trust me. I won't harm you. Looking at Lai Le's disgusted expression, Lai Jing said helplessly. It was all his fault for being too anxious. He had shaken this thing to such an extent. Lai Lu looked at Lai Jing's eager gaze and helplessly took a small bite. Originally, Lai Lu had thought that her brother had given her a dark dish. She had not expected that the moment she ate it, she would feel an obvious fragrance. Brother, this thing is really good. Lai Lu looked at Lai Jing with a face full of pleasant surprise. She had never thought that her brother would be able to find such delicious food. Brother Dash, however, just as Lai Lu was about to say something, she suddenly felt the spiritual energy in her body surge violently. What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm about to break through? Lai Lu said in surprise as he felt the changes in his body. Brother, I broke through. I've broken through to become a great Saint Master. Lai Lu looked at Lai Jing in surprise. Brother, this thing is so magical. Looking at the double-skinned milk in his hand, an indescribable excitement appeared on Lai Le's face. Don't be too agitated. I already said that I won't harm you. Looking at Lai Lu, Lai Jing also smiled happily. Let's go back to the Scorching Sun sect now. Then, Lai Jing led Lai Lu and Qilin in the direction of the Scorching Sun sect with a serious expression. The Qilin had concealed its aura from the start. Coupled with Lai Le's excitement of breaking through to the great Saint Master realm, he had not noticed the Qilin at all. He had only thought that it was Lai Jing's new pet. The two of them rushed back to the Scorching Sun sect with the Kirin in half a day. Reporting to Sect Master, eldest young master has brought Lai Lu back. At this moment, a Scorching Sun sect cultivator ran to the Scorching Sun sect quickly and said to the sect leader, who was sitting in the main hall of the Scorching Sun sect. It seems that your young master is not that rebellious. He knows to bring Lai Lu back. On the other side, the great elder of the barbarian sect nodded in relief. Elder barbarian, I've made a fool of myself. Go. The Scorching Sun sect master said with a smile. Ask them to come over. At this moment, the great elder of the barbarian tribe that the barbarian tribe had sent was the most prestigious person in the barbarian tribe. At the same time, he was also the strongest person in the tribe. Although he was the strongest in the barbarian sect, he was only at the sage sect. However, the Scorching Sun sect couldn't fight against an expert of the sage sect. Therefore, the leader of the Scorching Sun sect had to obey the barbarian sect. Father, why did you let your sister marry into the barbarian sect? I don't agree. Before he could see Lai Jing, his voice came from outside the door. Brat, Since when was it your turn to speak? The Scorching Sun sect master roared angrily after hearing Lai Jing's voice. Last time, he had not settled the score with the first elder for the matter he mentioned. This Lai Jing actually dared to be so arrogant. They really didn't take him seriously. Hey, Scorching Sun sect master, don't be angry. After all, children are rebellious. The first elder of the barbarian sect watched this scene with a smile. Elder barbarian, I've really made a fool of myself. I didn't discipline this kid well. The Scorching Sun sect master smiled apologetically at the barbarian elder. Father, don't you know what kind of trash the barbarian sect is? Lai Jing also looked at the Scorching Sun sect master angrily. Sigh. Why are you bad-mouthing the barbarian sect in front of me? The barbarian elder's originally disdainful face instantly showed displeasure. Barbarian old thief. Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. If you want my sister to go, you must be dreaming. Lai Jing looked at the first elder of the barbarian sect with an unconvinced expression. You brat. The great elder of the barbarian sect had not expected that Lai Jing would be so arrogant and dare to shout in front of him. Blazing capital. What's wrong with you? This is the great elder of the barbarian sect. I think you need to be taught a lesson. The Scorching Sun sect master did not expect Lai Jing to say such a thing. Lai Jing had always been the kind of person who would listen to whatever he said, but now that he had returned from a trip, things had turned out this way. This was definitely the senior that the great elder had mentioned, the one who had taught Lai Jing. Barbarian old thief. If you want to take my sister away, you have to go through me first. Lai Jing ignored the leader of the Scorching Sun sect and only spoke loudly to the great elder of the barbarian sect. Leader of the Scorching Sun sect, don't blame me for being impolite. The barbarian elder did not hesitate and quickly jumped to the opposite side of Lai Jing. Sect master, the first elder of the Scorching Sun sect, who was standing next to the sect leader of the Scorching Sun sect, was surprised. Originally, he wanted to let the father and son fight. He did not expect Lai Jing to be so blind as to provoke the barbarian elder. However, this was also good. He did not have to worry about it anymore. Damn it! The Scorching Sun sect master shook his head helplessly when he saw this. Lai Jing was really useless. He actually dared to provoke an elder of the barbarian clan. Boom! At that moment, the pressure on Lai Jing's body burst forth. What happened? How can you be in the sage sect? The barbarian elder, who had wanted to crush Lai Jing to death, was stunned when he sensed Lai Jing's strength. What happened? Lai Jing, how did Lai Jing break through to the sage sect? Not only the great elder of the barbarian sect, but also the sect leader and the great elder of the Scorching Sun sect were shocked. This was impossible. How long had it been since Lai Jing broke through to the sacred sovereign realm? How did he break through to the sage sect? The first elder of the Scorching Sun sect muttered in disbelief. No one dared to believe that it was just 2 months of time. Lai Jing had broken through from a great sage to a sage sect. This was simply a heaven-defying existence. Even if it was said, no one would believe it. Roar! Brat, you should go and rest. Let me deal with this old man. When Qilin saw this scene, he could not help but go forward to join in the fun. After all, he was here to help solve the problem. What kind of demonic beast is that? Just as Qilin released his power, everyone present turned pale with fright. Qirin. Looking at the Qilin's figure, the barbarian elder's face instantly turned pale. He really didn't expect to meet a tough opponent today. Wasn't the Scorching Sun sect easy to deal with? Why was it different from what he had imagined? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.